compare the previous 3 years and the present year, there is no much variation at all. Building materials is one of the highly scoring subject, good weight is also given there. Next you can see solid mechanics, nothing but the strength of materials. So you can see more or less comparable. The weightage given, you can see more or less comparable. No much variation at all. Next you can see the structural analysis subject, where you can see previously 19 means 12 questions, but in the recent 2021 we had something less weightage. I think now you are given some reasonable weightage, around 9 questions. There is some improvement as far as this structural analysis subject is concerned. Then you can see the design of the steel structures subject, where you can see the previous years. So compared to the 2019 and 20 in the recent exam as well as the today's 2022 examination, you are given a considerable weightage for this subject of steel structures. Then you can see design of a concrete and masonry structures. The weightage is more or less comparable, no much variation at all. And then construction practice, planning and management. You can see the weightage previously 10, 8, 11 this year. So more or less same weightage. There is no much variation at all, more or less the same weightage. And then fluid mechanics and hydraulic structures. It is given earlier 12, 12, 13 and this year 13 questions. They're all questions. So it is more or less the same weightage, no much variation at all. Then engineering hydrology, this is somewhat low weightage given because very small subject. Engineering, sorry, I'm talking about geology. This is engineering hydrology. Engineering hydrology is one of the good subject. You can see reasonable weightage 10, 8, 10. But this year, we have some amount of what you call disappointment there. You can see compared to the previous 3 years, this year the number of questions are very few only, just hardly 2 questions. Of course, a few questions are there which are partly combined with the other one, what you call irrigation engineering as well. But relatively, I can say that hydrology is given somewhat less weightage as far as this year paper is concerned. Only 2 questions. Then coming to the irrigation engineering, there you can see earlier it was given good weightage, 12, 12, 11. But this year somewhat less weightage, only about 8 questions, somewhat less weightage. And then environmental engineering, one of the important subject, it continues to maintain the more or less the same weightage. Then we go to the remaining subjects. Another important subject is geotechnical engineering. There you can see the weightage more or less comparable. Then the surveying subject. In the recent 3 years, if you see, it is comparable only. There is no much variation, no deviation. And then you can see geology. It's not such a significant subject. It's a very small subject to what you consider. Except 2019, in the recent years, the weightage is a few questions only. You can see this year, 1 question only. Right. And then the transportation engineering, which includes highways, railways, airports, harbors and tunnels, all these things. It continues to command the weightage more or less same. Of course, compared to previous year, this year there may be somewhat less weightage, but still 10 is not a what you call disappointing figure. Of course, there are 1 or 2 questions that you can discuss both in the transportation engineering as well as the soil mechanics as well. If you take that question again, it may be, you can rate it at 10 plus 1, I think, but 11 questions. So that is what the relative weightage of the subjects this year. So overall, if you see that there is no much deviation compared to the previous papers. As far as the subject weightage is concerned, there is no much deviation. The what you call the weightage is continuing to be more or less the same only. But this year, one unique feature of what I have found in the civil engineering paper is there were common data questions. You may be knowing that these common data questions earlier we used to have in the GATE paper. There used to be some common data. Following that, there used to be 2 or 3 questions. But after that, the common data questions disappeared from the GATE paper. But this year, a unique feature of engineering services in civil engineering paper is there were common data questions. That question was given in the RCC subject. You are given some common data. A RCC beam was given, dimensions given, amount of steel also given. Based on the common data, there you are given around 5 questions. That is something unique feature what I have found in this engineering paper this year. Right? That's what. And moreover, just I want to pass a small comment here. When I had a discussion with my colleague faculty members, what they were saying is most of the questions from these different subjects, what I call somewhat easy to moderate only. So it's not tough at all. That's what the conclusion what we have drawn from the discussion of our colleague faculty members. I can say that the overall the stand of the paper is somewhat what you call easy to moderate. Easy to moderate. Hope you are going to get very good marks. Now we are going to have each subject what you call the solution discussion. So I'm going to invite my colleague faculty members for each subject. But one thing what I want to say here is, here we are going to discuss all the 150 questions, but rather briefly. Because of the time constraints, we are not going to the what you call the detailed discussion of each and every question. We are just going to follow a methodology what a typical, a serious engineering studies aspirant, what he does in the examination hall. In a similar manner, we are going to discuss the solutions for this engineering studies paper, just because of some time constraints. Briefly, we are going to have the discussion here. Suppose if at all you want to have a detailed discussion about the each and every option of the each and every question, we don't want to disappoint you. You can see tomorrow we are going to upload in our website for each question the detailed solution, right? So I wish all of you good luck in this particular examination. Now I'm going to invite my colleague faculty members to go on discuss about the each and every subject, the solution part of discussion.
Dear aspirants, we will talk about transportation. You look at the transportation, all simple questions came to numerical questions. You look at this question number 98 in one of the sets. You see, in case of horizontal curves, the pavement, the purpose of super elevation, they are asking you the purpose of super elevation or banking of the curves. The super elevation is to counteract the centrifugal force. You see here in the option A, counteract the centripetal force is given. Centripetal acceleration, nothing but centrifugal force because mass is constant. Coming to the option B, provide proper cross drainage. Cross drainage and centrifugal force nowhere related. Angle of banking can't, nowhere related to the cross drainage works. So this I directly eliminate. Coming to the option C, prevent vehicle from skidding inwards. Skidding inwards, we are not providing the super elevation to skid the vehicle inwards. To skid the vehicle outwards, we provide the super elevation. So this I am directly eliminating. The last option is make the road look good. This is nowhere related to us. So maybe a sort of, the confusion in the English, this must be centrifugal force. Maybe some sort of typographical error or some error. So I am going with option A, thinking that this is centrifugal force. Okay. So next, written on, next is which of the following are the design elements in highway embankments. Highway is going through the embankments, so height of embankment is required, filling material is required, and settlement is also required. Because of the wheel load, there may be chance of settlement. That also you need to consider while take while designing the highway on embankment. You can choose the option as option A. Coming to the next question, consider the following statements related to construction of bituminous pavement roads. First statement is, it is not possible to construct relatively thin bituminous pavement layers over an existing pavement. Actually speaking, the layers which are going to be constructed can be too thin also. We are constructing the overlays with too thin. Next is, in India, the bituminous construction is by and large adopted on the surface courses. We are using the bituminous layers for the surface course. Blacktop construction is an extensive use in developing nations. So this is also correct. Option 1 is wrong. So you can choose an option without 1. So the available is option B. Without reading second and third statements also, you can pick up the answer. Come to the next question. The held water that will be discussed in GT. Now I'll come to this question. Consider the following statements related to IRC. IRC 37, you see, 1970 question came in the 2022 ESE paper. 1970 means even your father might have not born that time. Presently, IRC 37, 2018 version is going on. Let it be. So especially in the old version of CBR method, all the statements are correct. The test should be performed on the remolded soils on the field. Actually, this is a laboratory test. We need to collect the sample from the field and you come to the laboratory and then test it. But however, this may be the test should be performed on a remolded soil, collected on the field and tested in the laboratory. Like that I am taking and selecting this as the correct option. So the other two options are also correct. So finally I am picking up this as the correct answer. Okay, there may be some sort of slight confusion in the option 1. So that way I am taking it as right. Now coming to the next question, which of the following measures should be taken for maintaining rolling stock of railway? Rolling stock will be moving on the railway track, that must be lubricated. So the option with the lubrication is option D. That is the right option. Rolling stock should be lubricated so as to give you smooth flow without resistance to the friction and all, with less resistance to friction and all. Now coming to the next question, space means speed represents the average speed of the vehicles in a certain road length at any time. So this is average speed between two sections of the road. Space means speed of all the vehicles over a given space of the road, given length of the road, given stretch of the road. I am taking it as option C. Now coming to this question, they are asking you what is off-tracking. Off-tracking is given by L square by 2R, and length of the rigid wheelbase is given as 6.5 meter and the radius is given as 32 meter. If you simplify, just 0.66 meter. You can simply simplify this. So option is option D. Next, coming to the thickness of design of pavement mainly depends on. Actually, if you design a flexible pavement, the flexible pavement thickness is based upon the parameters of the subgrade soil, especially CBR of the subgrade and modulus of subgrade reaction of the subgrade reaction. Actually speaking, the design wheel load, this design wheel load in flexible pavement design will convert all the axial loads into standard axles. So whatever might be the load going on, it may be standard axle going on the road. So appropriately correct answer is the subgrade soil. In old CBR approach or even in the present CBR approach, we design the flexible pavement based upon the subgrade properties. Coming to the next question, the traffic surveys using origin and destination studies the most suitable method in case of heavy traffic. If the traffic is too high, we can't stop the traffic. If you stop the traffic, what happens is there will be traffic jam. Already the traffic is quite high. So we go by process of elimination. Roadside interview method. You need to stop the people and then take the interview. It takes time, causes traffic jam. Work spot or home interview method also, you need to go to the work spot and take the data. Written postcard method, even if you want to distribute the postcards, it takes time. You need to slow down the traffic. And postcard, that era has gone away. Presently, there are so many people who have not seen the postcard also. You may be one among them also. Now, the very common method what the people are adopting at present is license plate method. Cameras will be there. Cameras will be taking will be continuously recording the traffic, and with that you can take the picture. Through the picture you can collect the license number. Through the registration number you can collect the data and send the mail to the owner or driver. They'll in turn send back you the data whatever you require. So this is what the suitable method if the traffic is too high. So I am going with answer as option B. Next is, in traffic control, the speed at which vehicles are presumed to travel through the coordinated signal. This is nothing but speed of progression. Okay. So these are the questions in transportation. I'll hand over the session to the next faculty member.
Now we move on to the geotechnical engineering subject. So this is the question. The 73 numbering is there. This is taken from the series that is having A series. In the A series paper, this is the 73rd question, geotechnical engineering question. So I'll be discussing continuously the geotechnical questions there. What is said there? For non-homogeneous clays, the soil is a clay. The soil is a clay. What is said? The quotient of permeability, you have to be careful with what units there. Millimeters per second. You are given some ranges there. You are asked to pick up what should be the appropriate range. You know, clays are the lowest permeable soils. Actually, when you look at the what you call the data of these different permeabilities, it is having something 10 to the power of -5, -6, that range. So therefore, this is the answer for this question. 10 to the power of -4, 10 to the power of -6. Then we move to the next question. Large parts of North India lying north of Vindhya Satpura range in Indo-Gangetic and Brahmaputra flood plains. They are covered by what type of soils? We are given alluvial, colluvial, eolian, all this. Here you can use some simple common sense also, because what is given there? Flood plains. You know, in the case of the flood plains where the river names also given there, you are going to have sedimented soils from the running water of these rivers. The name of the soil is nothing but alluvial soils. Therefore, for this question, the answer is alluvial soils. Alluvial soils. Alluvial soils. Right? You can use simple common sense because rivers names are given, it's something related to the sedimentation from the water. So it is alluvial soils. A simple question. The next question is the maximum test load on a working pile. You know, there are two types of piles there. One is working pile, another one is test pile. You have to be careful what type of pile that is mentioned in the question. It is said to be working pile. In the case of working pile, the maximum test load should not exceed. If you look at these values, it is given in the specifications of this particular test that the maximum testing load should not exceed what you call 1.5 times the design load. It should not exceed 1.5 times the design load. This is one of the specification of this testing. So this is the answer, 1.5 times the design load. Just a memory based question, right? The next question is, one of the following doesn't affect the permeability of the soil. Be careful here. Doesn't affect the permeability of the soil. You are given some parameters there, you are asked to pick up which one does not affect. So for that I recall one equation for the coefficient of permeability of the soil. You may be knowing K is equal to C nothing but the shape constant, D squared into E cube upon 1 plus C, and then gamma W mu. There is one equation like this. If you look at now the parameters, void ratio, yes, it is going to affect the permeability. So it cannot be the answer because void ratio is there. You are asked to find which is not going to affect. So void ratio, it is there. Then let us see, solution, leave it. Grain size, nothing but diameter particle. It is not going to, it is going to affect. It's not the answer. Temperature means, temperature is not directly in the formula, but viscosity is there. Viscosity is very much influenced by the temperature. It is also not this one. So therefore, the parameter which is not affecting permeability is nothing but the strength of the soil. Strength of the soil. So this is the answer. This is the answer, which is not going to affect the permeability of the soil. Next, consistency is a term used to indicate. You are given some options there. You may be recollecting that the definition of consistency. Consistency, but it is a resistance against the deformation of soil. So sort of resistance. Look at this. Yeah, you can see the degree of firmness, some sort of resistance only. So this is the correct answer for this question, the degree of firmness of cohesive soils. This is a simple, straightforward question. The primary function of geogrids, we have geotextiles, right? Geomembranes, geogrids, geonets like that. You're asked to pick up the primary, nothing but the main function of the geogrids. You may recall that geogrids have two important functions. One is the separation, other one is reinforcement. But the question here is, which is the primary function? If you see the literature, it is given clearly that the main, otherwise the primary function of geogrids is nothing but reinforcement. Nothing but reinforcement. So that is the answer for this question. The next question is, which of the following is or the laboratory methods of determination of coefficient of permeability of the soils? Is a very simple question. Simple question. There are 4 methods of laboratory test. One is constant head permeability method. Other one is falling head permeability method. We have 2 more tests also. Capillary permeability test is there, and also consolidation test also there. They are not given there. You are given 2. Both come under what you call laboratory methods only. So therefore, the answer is both 1 and 2. Both 1 and 2. The next question, let us move to that. Which one of the following characteristics is not measured by geophysical methods of soil exploration? Be careful here. Not measured by geophysical methods of soil exploration. If you look at this, you know, geophysical methods are nothing but indirect methods. So this is one of the parameters we measure there. Density nothing but, you know, in the case of geophysical methods, we are going to measure the seismic wave velocity. Seismic velocity indirectly measures what you call the density only. Magnetism also it's possible to measure by these geophysical methods. What the question which is not measured? So plasticity is not measured there. So therefore, this is the answer. This is the answer. Plasticity is not measured in these geophysical methods. So this is the answer. Plasticity is the answer. Next question. Which one of the following is a method of wet mechanical analysis of fine-grained soil? This question is not somewhat straightforward. There may be, I feel, little bit confusion among the students. It is said that mechanical analysis of fine-grained soils, but specifically you are given wet analysis. So wet analysis of fine-grained soil, nothing but this is something like a sedimentation analysis only. Nothing but sedimentation analysis. If you look at Partial sedimentation, it is not that one. Illustration also not the one, not that one. So appropriate one is nothing but this one. Why? Because if you remember, in the case of sedimentation analysis method, we take observations, otherwise readings at a different intervals of time when you have different amount of what you call depth of sediment of the particles. Therefore, this will be the appropriate answer, observation of partial sediment. Then we move to the next question. According to Highway Research Board, HRB soil classification system, which one of the following is not relevant? Be careful, not relevant for dependency of group index. In other words, group index value of the soil is not dependent on. You may recollect there is one empirical formula for the group index. To find the group index, we require liquid limit, we require plastic limit, we also require the percent of soil passing through the 75 micron sieve. So to find the group index, we require all the three. What is the question? Which is not required or not relevant? This is not relevant. So this is the answer. So this is the answer. We don't require sink element to determine the group index value of the soil. This is the answer. The next question, you can see an oven-dried soil having a mass of 200 grams is placed in a pycnometer, which is then completely filled with water. The total mass of the pycnometer with water and the soil inside is 1605. The pycnometer filled with the water alone has a mass of so and so. What is specific gravity of the soil? Here you have to understand that specific gravity of soil is nothing but specific gravity of the soil particles. You are asked to find G, or else we can say GS. It is nothing but specific gravity of solid particles. We have a test what we call pycnometer method. Pycnometer method. You may recall the test of the pycnometer. We have a W1, W2, W3, W4 pycnometer, empty pycnometer, then an empty pycnometer with the soil, then pycnometer soil plus water. Then we remove the soil and water, then we fill it with only water. We take the 4 readings. What are those 4 readings we take? W1, W2, W3 and W4. These are the 4 weights what we measure in the pycnometer method. Then we use this formula to find the specific gravity of the soil particles, that is W2 minus W1 upon W2 minus W1 minus W3 minus W4. This is a simple formula, one of the commonly asked objective question. W2 minus W1 is nothing but this difference gives you weight of the solid particles only. Weight of the solid particles. It is nothing but Ws. Ws, again the denominator, minus W3 minus W4. If you substitute the data here, Ws already given to you. Soil mass is 200 grams. Oven-dried soil having a mass of 200 grams. So 200 grams upon 200 minus W3. What is the W3? W3 represents the total weight of the pycnometer, soil, and then filled with the water. How much it is given already? You can see this. The mass of the pycnometer with the soil and water, it is given 1605. 1605 grams minus W4. What is W4? Pycnometer filled with only water. How much is it given? 1480 grams. So minus 1480. If you simplify this equation, you are going to get the answer, right? So how much you get finally? 200 minus 1605 minus 1480. So this gives you, this is 120, 125, 125, 200, nothing but 75. 200 minus 125, nothing but 75, right? So if you take the calculation 4 by 3. Sorry, if you divide with the 25, 25 8, 25 8 and 25 3, that gives you 8 by 3. 8 by 3 nothing but 2.667. So this works out to be 2.67. So 2.67 is the answer. Let us check. 2.67, yes, it is there. So 2.67 is the specific gravity of the soil here. One of the numerical question. Then we move on to the next question. A soil sample has a porosity of 40% and the specific gravity given. What is the void ratio? In fact, this kind of questions you can see n number of questions in the engineering services as well as GATE papers. Sometimes you are given like this, porosity given, you are asked to find void ratio or vice versa. This is a very standard question, right? So porosity is given 0.4. You are asked to find E. So you have that simple ready-made formula, E is equal to n by 1 minus n. So this is the basic formula in soil mechanics, a subject. So when you substitute these values, 0.4, 1 minus 0.4, that comes to 0.6. So 0.4 by 0.6, right? That comes to be 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 means 0.667. 2 by 3 means 0.667. Yes. So this is the answer. 0.667 is the answer. That is the void ratio correspond to this type of porosity. Next question. Which one of the following is used for the determination of different strata in the earth's crust? Strata in the earth crust. Nothing but one type of survey here. It's not a mining. Topography means something related to the surface of the ground. Archaeological is not related to this one. Yes, geological survey. In fact, the name is self-explanatory. Earth crust nothing but the geology, right? So the geological investigation nothing but geological survey reveals the different strata present below the earth, in the earth crust, right? Geological survey is the answer. The next question. The held water in the subgrade soil forms ice crystals at some spots if the freezing temperature continue for a certain period. These ice crystals grow further in size if there is a continuous supply of water due to capillary action, and thereby depressed temperature continues, right? This results in raising of the portion of the pavement. Yes, this question you can cover either in the highway engineering as well as in this geotechnical engineering as well, right? This phenomena what you call a frost hue. You know, frost hue means in the case of the what you call the pavement foundation soil. If at all the pavement foundation soil has got any capillary water during this what you call winter season, if the temperature goes below the freezing point, the capillary water converts into ice crystals. We all know that whenever the water converts into ice crystals, there is a bulking of volume. So because the conversion of water into ice crystals, the volume is going to increase. So whenever the volume of soil bulges, the pavement gets uplifted. That is called heaving. Heaving because of crystals. That phenomena what you call as frost hue. Frost hue. So this is the answer. Frost hue is the answer. Right? Others are not, right? Because it is said that specifically there is a heaving, right? It is said specifically a raising of a portion of the pavement. Rising nothing but heaving. That's why the frost hue. In the same discussion, we come across this also. This is something like a alternative freezing and thawing. Thawing nothing but that is called frost boil. That's not related. That's not related to this one. Because raising nothing but frost hue. That is the answer there. Yeah, that is the end of this geotechnical portion. Now I invite my other colleague faculty to take upon this strength of materials questions.
Yeah, good evening friends. Now we move on to the another subject, strength of material. This time, yes, this subject has having a very good weightage. Let's move on the first question. Yes, set A begins with this question. It's a very fundamental question. Read the question. Which one of the following statements is not correct, incorrect statement regarding the relationship between bending moment, shear force and applied loads? See the four statements. The rate of change of shear force along the beam is equal to the distributed load. As we know, rate of change of shear force, it is nothing but rate of loading. Yes, this is correct statement. This is correct statement. This is correct. And second statement, the rate of change of bending moment along the beam is equal to the shear force. Exactly, absolutely, it is also correct. dm over dx, it is nothing but, yes, this is also correct statement. The third one, the rate of change of bending moment along the beam is equal to distributed load. This is completely controversial statement. This is incorrect statement. Incorrect. Obviously, if you look at the fourth one, the shear force and a bending moment at a free end is always 0. Yes, for distributed loading condition, this statement is true, but some exceptional cases, if you are having point load or if you are having a concentrated couple, this is not valid. But apart from this one, these three are related to the distributed loads. That's why only the incorrect statement is option 3. Let's move on to the next question. Yes, consider the following assumptions for the pure bending theory. Yes, so we can analyze the bending stresses under pure bending theory. Look at the first statement, the material is homogeneous and isotropic. I think this is a homogeneous, some printing error. Material is homogeneous and isotropic, exactly. This statement is correct. The stress is, it is homogeneous. If it is homogeneous, this is the basic assumption, and isotropic. This is a homogeneous. The stress is purely longitudinal and local effect of concentrated loads will be neglected. Yes, obviously bending stress distribution, if you are taking, yes, it is taking the linear variation, as we know this one, linear variation. But we should not consider, in strength of material, we should not consider the stress concentration effects. So simply we can follow the Saint Venant's principle throughout our subject, as we know that. So this statement is also correct. And the radius of curvature is very, very large comparatively its cross-sectional dimensions. As we know, the slopes and the deflections because of loading conditions are very, very small. So R value is very, very large when comparatively its cross-sectional dimensions. So statement 3 is also correct. 1, 2, 3. If it is homogeneous statement, this one is also correct. 1, 2, 3. Option D is correct. Let's move on to the next question. Yes, this is a small numerical problem. Now look at this one. For a rectangular beam of 4 meters long, length of the beam is given as 4 meters with 100 mm wide and 200 mm deep. So by looking these two, yes, we know it is a rectangular cross section. This is a B is given, this is a D is given. It carries a shear force, the magnitude of shear force on this section. If you take 100 kilonewtons, let's take in newtons. Then what is the maximum shear stress due to bending action? As we know, for the case of rectangle, the maximum shear stress, it is 3 divided by 2 times the tau average. It's a straightforward question. That is nothing but 3 divided by 2 times F divided by BD, my dear friends. Substitute all the values. F it is given as 100 into 10 cube, and B it is given as 100 mm, and D it is given as 200 mm. If you simplify this one, then you are getting 7.5 Newton per square millimeter. So option C is correct for this one. Now let's move on to the next question. Yes, this is from deflections. I can use the short trick for this. What is the maximum deflection for a cantilever beam of span L, this is L, subjected to a point load at a distance from the fixed end, as shown in the figure? Yes, point load is applied at here at a distance of A units. Total length of the beam it is given as L units. Where we require the deflection? At the free end. Now if you take the elastic curve, Yes, it is having a circular arc shape. Let us mark this as point C, in between A and C. From here it is taking a straight line, inclined straight line. Now this is we required, my dear friends. This is YB. Yes, how I am splitting this one? Let us take this one. This is YC. Now here I am taking YC and this is H. So YB, if you take, that is a YC, this H I can take it as a theta C and this distance B. Theta C and this distance B. Now see the short trick. Yes, consider this is a standard case. Then YC we are having a PA cube divided by 3EA I plus, being it's a downward deflection. Theta C, it is a PA square divided by 2EI into B. If you simplify, but options all are given in terms of A and L. So once we simplify, then we are getting this value PA square divided by 6 PA square. Here I am writing YB equal to PA square divided by 6EI into 2A plus 3B. In place of B, you can take L minus A and simplify. Then you are getting answer option A. So for this one, option A is correct. It's a straightforward question. The next one, if you take this one, a simply supported steel beam of 8 meters long and is subjected to uniformly distributed of 10 kilonewton per meter. So what is the type of load we are having on simply supported beam? UDL. So this is UDL. What is the length we are having? 8 meters. Omega, if you take this one, 10 kilonewton per meter. What we required? What is the maximum bending stress of the member at a distance of 50 mm from the neutral axis? So here 50 mm, it is nothing but Y. Now let us take the bending stress. Bending stress formula, if you take M upon INA into Y. What is bending moment? Omega L square divided by 8, my dear friends. INA value already mentioned. Y already given, it is a 50. What is omega? All you can take omega, you can take in 10 into 10 cube Newton divided by 10 cube mm you can take. Length you can take 8000 mm because INA it is given in a mm raised to 4. Then INA you can substitute to 10 into 10 raised to 5. If you simplify, you are getting a 4000 Newton per mm square. So option B is correct. This is also a straightforward question. We should not record any calci. With the manual calculations, we can easily sort out it. Now see, yes, this is a Poisson's ratio. As we know for brass, the Poisson's ratio is direct, straightforward question, 0.34. Then a hole is to be punched through a steel plate of 8 mm thickness. So initially we are having one plate. The thickness of the plate, if you take the thickness of the plate, it is given as 8 millimeters. We have a die which is having a circular cross section, obviously, because we require the hole diameter. Now this is, and with the help of this die, we can make the hole. This is the projected area, pi dt is the projected area. Now rest of the input you can see. What is the least diameter of the hole which can be punched? If the steel punch can be worked to a compressive stress of, this is the limiting strength for the punch as well as ultimate shear strength of this one. So simply I can apply the statics. When I am applying the statics, yes, compressive strength of punch. As we know, compressive strength of punch, it should be equal to shear strength of plate. This kind of questions already we are having in our material. Same question with a small data change, but same question we are having. We solve this in our classroom also. This is plate. Just you can substitute, and I am substituting this one, sigma c permissible into pi by 4 d square equal to tau permissible into pi dt. D one time getting cancelled, pi getting cancelled, and if you take this one here, d we are having sigma c, how much it is given as, let us see, If you take the sigma c, it is 800, it is given, my dear friend, d by 4. It should be equal to tau permissible, it is given as, tau permissible, it is 300 is given, and thickness of the plate 8. So double zeros cancel, 8 is cancelled, d equal to 3 4 just 12 mm is the required answer. 12 mm, option B is correct. Now let's move on to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding the strain displacement. See the statement 1, the strain depends on the displacement of the points within the body. Yes, absolutely, it is accepted thing. And the next statement, if you take, the strain at the points within the body does not depend on the relative displacement of the various points within the body. Absolutely wrong. Why? Another assumption, fundamental assumption, strength of material, if you take, yes, each material, it is a solid and continuous. When the material is continuous, so definitely it should be depends on other points relative displacement. So second statement is incorrect, my dear friend. So here asking, so statement, which one of the above statements are correct? Statement 1 is correct, right? Statement 2 is incorrect. Let's move on to the next question. This is direct question. This time on principal stresses, we are having 3-4 questions, but very easy questions. The maximum principal strain theory of elastic failure that was proposed by principal strain theory, St. Venant's. This is another name for this theory is St. Venant's theory. Now move on to the next question. Which one of the following limitation is asking again concept of theories of elastic failure. The maximum strain energy theory, that is nothing but Heiss and Beltramis theory. Now look at here. First statement, if you take limitation asking, the theory does not apply to the ductile materials. Not like that. Yes, it is giving the considerable values with respect to the experimental data for the case of ductile materials. In fact, this theory we can apply for the design of thick cylinders. That's not the thing. Then it can only be applicable for the materials under the hydrostatic state of pressure. This statement is wrong. This theory, if I apply for the hydrostatic condition, under hydrostatic condition, we are having the normal stresses with equal magnitude and having same nature. If I apply this condition, then as per this condition, this theory gives as for the material should not having any elastic deformation. But this statement is, yes, it is not valid. Now, if you take the third statement, yes, in fact, these two are having some clumsiness, but here, if you take this one, it cannot be applied for the materials under hydrostatic exactly. This is the limitation of this theory particularly. If I apply this theory does not give any inelastic deformation for the materials. That's why we are not recommended this theory for hydrostatic condition. So this is the limitation of this theory. And the fourth statement, if you take, the theory does not give accurate results in case of torsion test. Exactly. If I apply this theory, as per this theory, the maximum shear stress at yielding, it is 0.817 times. Inaccuracies we are finding, but still we can use it, no problem. Sigma YT. So here if you take this one, option C is the limitation for the application of this theory. Then on to the next question. Yes, this time this is somewhat a tricky question we are having from the strength of material. Generally in strength of material we are dealing with the torsion against the circular objects, but this time non-circular object, that is also we are having equilateral triangle. Yes, obviously if you take the shear distribution in case of equilateral triangle, let us say this is the centroid for this one, it is somewhat like this we are having. Yes, here it is a h by 3. The distribution of the shear in equilateral triangle somewhat this here. For this question, option A is the correct option. So in detail we will give in the solutions. Then next question, if you take this one, a cantilever beam of length is loaded by a transverse load varying linearly with an intensity of omega naught at the fixed end and 0 at the free end. So let you take that beam. Yes, the given beam, it is a cantilever beam. The rate of loading is 0 at a free end and maximum at a fixed end. What is the intensity here? Omega naught. Now this is a linearly varying load. Yes, L we are having. What we required? What is the shear force at a distance of L by 2 of the beam? At the middle of the beam here we are having. Now how to find out the shear force? Let us use the section I am taking at a center point. Now this is L by 2. Simply I can use the either side concept. If you convert this triangle into the equivalent load, that is giving the shear force. Now what is the height of this triangle? Obviously we know for a length of L it is omega naught. For a length of L by 2 it is height, it is omega naught divided by 2. Then shear force at x equal to L by 2, it is nothing but area of the shaded triangle. Half into base is L by 2 into height is omega naught divided by 2. If you simplify omega naught L divided by 8 is the answer. So option D is the answer. Simple calculations, but not a difficulty. Yes, another question from the principal stresses and theories of failure combination. Two of the principal stresses at a point are, let us mark this as sigma 1 and let us mark this as a sigma 2. What is the safe range of the third principal stress? Here 3D condition is given at that point by using which theory? Maximum shear stress theory. As per the maximum shear stress theory, if you take the design equation, maximum shear stress, that is absolute maximum shear stress, is always less than or equal to permissible shear stress. Is it right or not? Exactly. But here the failure stress, it is given in terms of yield strength in tension. But this should be equal to, as we know, Fy divided by 2. That's it. Now take the three sets of the combinations. If you take it, maximum of sigma 1 minus sigma 2 divided by 2 is the first in plane tau max. Then the second one, sigma 2 minus sigma 3 divided by 2, second set. And sigma 1 minus sigma 3 divided by 2, third set, is less than or equal to, yes, Fyt already mentioned. That is the 210 divided by 2. Let us use this set. You are having one relation. Just if you substitute that, yes, here we are having a one value. Sigma 2 already mentioned. Sigma 2 it is 90. Just to simplify, it is 300 we are having. Sigma 3 here we are having 300. One value we are having. And this set you can use it. If I use sigma 1 minus sigma 3 divided by 2 less than or equal to 210 divided by 2, let me cancel. Sigma 1 it is 130. Just you can substitute 130 minus 210 and use the limiting condition. Sigma 3, if you take this one, it is I think minus 80. This is the safe range for this one. Option A is going to be correct. Then move on to the next question. It's a direct formula for the closely coiled helical springs. Deflection for the helical springs, if you take this one, generally we are taking that in terms of mean coil diameter, 8 PD cube n divided by GD raised to 4. But given in terms of mean coil radius, just you can substitute that. What is the load? W is given. This I can write it as a 2R whole cube n divided by GD raised to 4. 8 8s are 64. So 64 is available at here. And R cube is there, R square is there. Be careful. Then it is in place of G, they are using symbol N for the rigidity. So option C is correct. Let's move on to the next question. This is somewhat interesting question. A steel wire of cross-sectional area 100 mm square, area is mentioned, one wire is there. Let us take this is a steel wire. The length of the wire it is given as 100 meters, L it is given as 100 meters. It is used to lift a weight of, this is the external load we are having at its low end. External load P if you take, that is 2.5 kilonewtons. What is the total elongation of the wire? The mass density of the wire it is given as 8 kg per meter cube. Young's modulus it is given at 200 gigapascal. And the G value it is given as 10 meter per second square. Direct formula. What is the net amount of elongation? Net amount of elongation if you take here gamma L square divided by 2E because of self weight. And gamma it is nothing but rho Z. And due to the external load it is a PL upon EA. Everything is available. This value we are having 12.5. But here it is having some small error. You just observe that here. I think it is 80 kg. It is mistake. As per our data, we are getting this one. But if it is 80, it becomes 2. Then option, nearest option is option A is correct. Right? Now next move on to the next question. This is the last question. Yes, this is again from the concept of simple stresses and strains. So direct forward question. The tensile strength, or we can say it is the ultimate strength, is defined as the highest value of stress highest value of engineering stress. If you take the stress strain diagram for the mild steel, yes, obviously you are having, this is the tensile strength. Highest value of stress experienced by the material throughout its lifespan. That is nothing but tenacity. Statement 2, for the ductile materials, the tensile strength corresponding the point where, which, yes, obviously, how you are defining at UTM, if you are observing, neck formation takes place in the material. Is it right or not? Exactly. Statement 2 is also correct. Both statements are correct. Hope this time you performed very well from the strength of material subject. All are straightforward questions. All the best for your future. Now I invite my colleague, Bari sir, for making the explanation of fluid mechanics.
Hello everybody, let us look at the questions from Fluid Mechanics 1 and Hydraulic Machinery. The first question was a very simple question coming from the concept of difference in pressure across curved surfaces. The question reads, the pressure outside the droplet of water of diameter 0.04 mm is 10.32 Newton per centimeter square. What is the pressure within the droplet if the surface tension is so and so? The surface tension he has mentioned is 0.0725 Newton per meter. Now, I'm not going to solve this question because one thing we know that inner pressure is supposed to be greater than the outer pressure. Now, we see over here only one option is greater than 10.32. That option happens to be 11.045. Therefore, the option correct over here is option A. If you want to solve, you can go it this way. You can say that the value of inner pressure minus outer pressure is equal to 4 sigma by D. Then you can say the value of inner pressure has to be equal to outer pressure plus 4 sigma by D. But in examination, they are not expecting you to solve it. Straight away, you can say the answer is option A. Let us move further to the next question. The question says the viscosity of a liquid whose kinematic viscosity is given as 6 Stokes and specific gravity is 1.9 is how much? So over here, he has given you the value of nu. Nu is equal to 6 Stoke, that is 6 into 10 power minus 4. He has given specific gravity, therefore density has to be 1900 kg per meter cube. Kg per meter cube. We know that viscosity has to be equal to density times kinematic viscosity. So if you multiply these two things, you are going to have 6 into 10 power minus 4 multiplied to 1900. You remove this 10 power minus 4, you put a 0.9 over here. So 6 into 0.19 we are getting. Now if you see, look at it as 6 into 0.2, that would give you 1.2 as answer, which is 1.2 Pascal second. Now if you see over here, we are not having anything closer to 1.2 Pascal second. So next thing we can do is we can go to 12 poise. Anything close to 12 poise? Yes, 11.4 is close to 12 poise. So therefore the answer is option B over here. Let us move further to the next question. This question says, a 2 meter wide tank contains water up to a height of 0.5 meter above its base. An immiscible liquid of specific gravity 0.8 is filled on the top of water up to 1 meter height. What is the total pressure force on one side of the tank, he's asking. He has asked you to consider the density of water as 1000 and G as 9.81. I'm not going to consider this thing. Why am I not going to consider this? Whenever we see questions where we are not having calculator allowed, immediately look at the options. If the options are very well spaced, then you assume something which is reasonable and not very far away from the actual value. I'm going to take this as 10 now. It won't harm my answer, hopefully. Now what do I do next? I'm going to solve this question by pressure prism approach, because whenever you're having multi-fluid, never go by the conventional formula, it will take all your time. So you are having pressure prism approach over here, something like this. You can say that if you look at the side view and look at the pressure distribution diagram, it looks something like this. This is the oil having specific gravity 0.8 and this is water having specific gravity 1.0. I'm having some pressure P1 over here, I'm having some pressure P2 over here. This height is equal to 1 meter, this height is equal to 0.5 meter. So I can say the value of hydrostatic force has to be equal to volume of pressure prism. Volume of pressure prism is going to be area of this triangle plus area of this trapezium multiplied to the width perpendicular to your screen. The width perpendicular to your screen is 2 meter wide, right? So how much will the answer be over here? The answer over here is going to be, let us say, width is 2 meter multiplied to half base into height, that is half of pressure P1 is equal to how much? 8,000 is the gamma of this thing for me. Height is equal to 1 unit. So therefore the pressure has to be 8,000 only. 8,000 plus area of trapezium. This is 8,000 for me and this is 13,000 for me. We know that area of trapezium has to be average of bases multiplied to height. So 8,000 plus 13,000 would give me 21,000. Multiplied to 0.5 would give me 10,500. So half times 10,500, let us say. I'm not using calculator, so you can answer this thing. This is around 18,500. My actual answer is supposed to be slightly less than this value. Now look at this value. This is in newtons, which is very close to 18.15 newtons. I can safely answer this thing because the value lower to this is 10.3, very far away. Higher than this is 24.52, sufficiently far away. Answer over here correct is option D. Okay, let us move further to the next question. The question says, a pipeline of uniformly varying cross-section area carries an oil of specific gravity 0.87. The diameter of the pipe is 200 mm at end A and 500 mm at end B. The end B is located located at 4 meter higher than A. What is the loss of head in the pipeline if the pressure reading is 9.81 Newton per centimeter square at point A and 5.886 Newton per centimeter square at point B? Take the discharge as 200 liter per second, GS 9.81 meter per second square. Now this was a trap question. You are supposed to leave this question in examination. Because if you solve this question in examination, it will take a lot of time for you, which might reduce your chances of answering the other questions. Anyway, how do I answer this thing? I can say that I'm having some pipelines like this. I'm having some pipeline like this. This is point A. This over here is point B. The diameter of this thing is given to you as 0.2 meter. And the diameter over here as 0.5 meter. The first thing you are supposed to do over here is identify the velocities. How do you do that? You would say the velocity at point A is equal to, discharge is equal to how much? 0.2 liter per second square. 0.2 meter cube per second square divided by area is equal to how much? Area is equal to pi by 4 multiplied to diameter over here is equal to 0.2 square. Likewise, you would get the value of VB also. Let us say you got the value of VB in the same way. That is 0.2 times 4 upon pi times 0.5 square. Once you have this value, then you will say the value of head loss is equal to, since this is my initial section, this is my final section, it is PA minus PB divided by gamma plus VA square minus VB square divided by 2G plus ZA minus ZB, which is minus 4 meter. Mind you, ZA minus ZB is minus 4 meter. Now calculating all these things would take a lot of effort, lot of time also. I'm straight away giving the answer. The answer happens to be 2.609 meter. Okay. This was a question which was a slightly lengthy question, even though quite simple, basic Bernoulli equation. Let us move further to the next question. The next question over here is saying, air at standard conditions flow over a flat plate. The free stream speed is 3 meter per second. What is the thickness of boundary layer at a distance of 1 meter from the leading edge of the flat plate? Take the kinematic viscosity of air as 1.5 in 10 power minus 5 meter square per second and density of air as 1.23 kg per meter cube. Very basic question regarding the value of delta. Now what are you going to do? Whenever this much data is given to you, you have to make a standard assumption that the flow happening over here is laminar boundary layer. For laminar boundary layer, we know it is k root over of x times nu upon u infinity. What is the value of k you are supposed to take? Standard value of k we take is 5. Let us take the value as 5. 5 root over of x is equal to 1, nu is equal to 1.5 into 10 power minus 5 upon u infinity over here is equal to how much? 3. U infinity is equal to 3 over here. Now if you calculate this value, right, if you see over here, this is 10 power minus 5 we are getting. So it is coming out to be 1 by, you can say 5 into 10 power minus 2 upon root 20. Root 20, root 10 is approximately pi, root 20 is 1.4 into pi. You can say 1.4 into, let us say 3.2 approximately. If you calculate this value, you would get this value nearly 1 centimeter, 1 point slightly more centimeter. If you check 1 point slightly more centimeter is 10.3 meter, 10.3 mm rather, 10.3 mm. That would be the answer which is closest to this number, right? Let us move further to the next question. The next question reads, water is flowing with a velocity of 1.5 meter per second in a pipe of length 2500 meter, diameter 500 mm. A valve is provided at the end of the pipe. What is the rise in pressure if the valve is closed in 25 seconds? Now this is a question coming from water hammer effect. Now we know that we have to check what type of closure it is. Is it sudden closure or it is gradual closure? Now when he says 25 seconds, it is very much probable it is a gradual closure. But still, if you want to be on safe side, you can find out the value of time, critical time of closure. It is equal to 2L upon C. That is equal to how much? 2 times. Length he has given is 2500. C he has given is 1460. I am going to assume it is 1500. It does not harm me. If it is 1500, I am having 2 times 5 is 10, 10 by 3, that is approximately 3.3 seconds. Critical time is 3.3 seconds. I am taking well above this value as 25 seconds to close the valve. So this is a gradual closure case. Now what is the pressure rise in the case of gradual closure? It is rho into L into V upon actual time of closure. Rho 1000, L 2500, velocity was 1.5 upon actual time is 25 seconds. Now you see 25 cancel 25, I am having 1.5 into 10 power 5. This is equal to 15 into 10 power 4 Newton per meter square. That is equal to 15 Newton per centimeter square. I can say 15 Newton per centimeter square. Option A is correct over here. The questions were quite simple. Very basic elementary questions were asked. Let us move to the next question from kinematics. The question says a stream function is defined by the expression psi is equal to 2x square minus y square. What is the resultant velocity at a point denoted by x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3? So you have to find out the value of u over here. U is equal to minus of dou psi by dou y. That would be equal to 2y if you check from here. And v is equal to dou psi by dou x. Dou psi by dou x would be equal to 4x. Put in the numbers. The numbers is y is equal to 3. So therefore this value would be 6. X is equal to 2. This value would be 8. Now mod v is equal to how much? Root over of 6 square plus 8 square. Very simple triplet. 6, 8, 10 would be the answer. Option correct over here is option A, 10. Move further to the next questions from hydraulic machinery. The question says which of the following statements is correct with respect to the Kaplan turbine? Read the options over here. Whenever statement questions are there, read all the options. It will give you a better idea of what is correct. The peripheral velocity at an inlet is more than the peripheral velocity at outlet. Wrong option. Both are supposed to be same. The velocity of flow at inlet is more than the velocity of flow at outlet. Again, wrong answer. The peripheral velocity of inlet and outlet are equal. Correct option. Option C is correct. Still read the D option. Velocity of flow at outlet is more than velocity of flow at inlet. Wrong option. Option C over here is correct option. Move further to the next question. The speed of generator can be maintained constant only if the speed of turbine runner is constant, equal to the one given by the equation n is equal to 60F by P, which is known as synchronous speed. Direct question. Straight away, direct question, synchronous speed. Moving further. Now he's asking you, consider the following statements related to negative slip. Please read this word. Negative slip he has mentioned of the reciprocating pump. Negative slip is when you are having actual discharge greater than the theoretical discharge. Now the statement 1 is actual discharge of the reciprocating pump is more than the theoretical discharge. Statement 1 is correct. The coefficient of discharge will be more than unity. Of course, if the actual value is greater than the theoretical value, the coefficient is supposed to be greater than 1. Okay. Now next thing, when the suction pipe is short and the delivery pipe is long and pump is running at slow speed, then negative slip of the pump occurs. Exactly opposite mention. Suction pipe is supposed to be long, delivery pipe is supposed to be short. So option 1 and 2 are correct over here. That means answer A is correct over here. Move further to the next question. The question says, a single reciprocating pump has a plunger of diameter 250 mm, stroke of 350 mm. If the speed of the pump is 60 mm and it delivers 16.5 liter per second of water against a suction head of 5 meter and delivery head of 20 meter, what is the coefficient of discharge? Now what he has given you over here is the actual discharge. 16.5 is the actual discharge. You're supposed to identify the value of theoretical discharge. And how do you do that? Q theoretical is equal to plunger area multiplied to L into N by 60. AP into L into N by 60. If you calculate this value, it is pi by 4 D square multiplied to L into N by 60. Put in the numbers. D is equal to how much? 250 mm. L is equal to 350 mm. N is equal to, he has given 60 RPM, N and 60 cancel off. This value will come approximately 17.18. 17.18 liter per second, you will get the value. If you check the value of coefficient of discharge, it is it is supposed to be 16.5 upon 17.18. Now if you look at this number, it is extremely close. The value comes out to be 0.96. CD value comes out to be 0.96. These are the questions to have been asked from Fluid Mechanics 1, which is excluding open channel flow and hydraulic machinery. Thank you.
Hi everyone, next we'll see the structural analysis subject. Okay, so first question, right. So this is a question from determinate trusses. What is the support reaction Vg from the following figure? Okay, so this is a very easy question. Here Vg is vertical reaction at support G. So this is the symmetrical truss, right? For symmetrical, then total load divided by 2. Okay, so what is the total load here? Total is 30. Then if total load is 30, then this is 30 by 2. Then this is 15 kilonewton. This reaction is upward. Okay, so 15 kilonewton upward. Answer A is correct. Now let's see next question. Right. For a fixed connected collar type of support connection in coplanar structure, the number of unknowns is R. Okay, this is nothing but vertical guided roller support. Okay, so for vertical guided roller support, number of reactions are 2. What are the 2 reactions? Horizontal reaction and moment reaction. It cannot resist vertical reaction. So how many unknown forces are there? Only 2. That is horizontal force and moment. Okay, so here if you see option D, 2 unknown forces. What are the 2 unknown forces? These reactions are forces and moment. Then option D is correct. Now we'll see next question. Right. So this is a question from cable. what is the maximum tension approximately in the cable as shown in figure? If it is carries a uniformly horizontal distributed load of intensity 120 kilonewton per meter. Okay, in the question he asking to find the maximum tension. Okay, so we have formula to find the maximum tension. T max equals to under root of h square plus v square. Okay, here this vertical reaction may be at support A or at support B, because vertical reaction VA, VB both are equal because this is symmetrical. Okay, so here so this is the cable subjected to UDL. Okay, so here vertical reaction W L by 2, W L by 2. And what is the horizontal reaction formula? Horizontal reaction, this is H. Okay, so here horizontal reaction is WL square by 8H. Okay, now we'll substitute here. So what is the horizontal reaction here? WL square by 8H whole square plus what is the vertical reaction? WL by 2 whole square. Okay, so here he given W is 120 kilonewton per meter and length given 300 meter. Okay, just and what is the height given here? H equals to 30 meter. Okay, so if you substitute in this formula, you will get the maximum tension is 48.5 into 10 to the power of cube Newton. Okay, but here he given mega Newton, right? So this we can convert into 48.5 mega Newton. Okay, then option B is correct. Okay, next question. Right, consider the following statements. For a given load, the deflection of an indeterminate structure is smaller than the determinate structure. Yes, indeterminate structure has less deflection compared to determinate structure. Okay, so option this one is correct. Next, second, for a given load, the maximum stress of an indeterminate structure is higher than that of determinate structure. Students, for indeterminate structure, bending moment is less. If the bending moment is less, then stresses are less. So indeterminate structure has less stresses compared to determinate structure. Okay, but in second, he given indeterminate structure is higher than that of determinate structure. So it is not higher, it is lesser, because bending moment is less for indeterminate structure. So 2 is wrong. Next, 3. For a given load, the maximum stress of an indeterminate structure is smaller than that of determinate structure. Yes, indeterminate structure has less stress. So 1, 9, 3 are correct. Option C is correct. Next question. Right. What is the degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the truss shown in figure? Okay. Actually, in the question, in the diagram, you have to show the circle here. Right. So you are asking to find the kinematic indeterminacy. At each and every pin joint, number of degree of freedoms are 2. That is horizontal displacement and vertical displacement. So at each and every pin joint, 2, 2, Right. At the roller support, how many degree of freedoms? 0. And at the hinged support, number of degree of freedoms are 0. At the roller support, only 1. This is horizontal displacement. Okay. Then count it total. Then dk equals to 13. Okay. Then option D is correct. Next question. Right. Which of the following statement is not correct? Okay, he asking not correct. The influence line are constructed for establishing the maximum design forces at critical section produced by moving loads. Yes, we'll use the ILD concept to find the maximum stress function values, right? That maximum stress function values are design forces. Okay, so option A is correct. Okay, but he given not correct. Okay, we have to select the incorrect statement here. Right. Then here, second one, as a moving load passes over a structure, the internal forces at each point in the structure do not vary. No, please. Okay, it will vary. When the load move from one end to another end, okay, internal forces, nothing but axial force, shear force and bending moment, it will change from point to point. Okay, so here this is the wrong statement. Next, see, to ensure the safety of structure, the capacity of section should greater than or equals to the combination of loads. Yes, always strength should be more or equal to the load. This is correct statement. Okay, next, D, the maximum deflection occur at the center of simply supported beam when a concentrated load applied at the midspan. Yes, simply supported beam subjected to central point load will get the maximum deflection at the center only. Okay, so D also correct, but he asking incorrect statement, then B is the incorrect statement. Next, right, so this is a question from ILD, influence line diagram. He given two loads 40 and 60 are moving towards support B. Okay, it means these two loads are moving from left to right. What is the maximum negative shear force at B? Yes, at support A will get the positive shear force and at support B will get the negative shear force. Then we have to draw ILD for shear force at B. What is the shape of ILD for shear force at B? So this is ILD for shear force at B. We will get the negative shear force. Then this ordinate is 1. Now where to place these loads? Okay, we can't interchange the loading system because position of loads directly given in the question. We can't interchange the loading system. Okay, right. Here, first, we'll place the 40 kilonewton at support B. Okay, place the 40 kilonewton at support B. And next load is 60 kilonewton. What is the spacing between these two loads? 6 meter. Then total is 16 meter, right? And remaining distance is 10 meter. Okay, now we have to find the ordinates under the load. Now using similar triangle concept, now we'll find the ordinate under 60 kilonewton load. Okay, so what is the total length? It is 16 meter. For 16 meter ordinate is 1. Okay, for 16 ordinate is 1. Then at what distance we need ordinate? A distance of 10 meter. We have to find the ordinate. So this is 10 by 16. Okay, so this ordinate is 10 by 16. Right, these two are point loads, right? To find the maximum stress function values, just load into ordinate of ILD under the point load. Okay, so here maximum stress function value, so this is negative, right? So minus 60 into 10 by 16, okay, and 40 minus 40 into, what is the ordinate under the 40? It is 1. Then solve this. If you solve this, you will get minus 77.5 kilonewton. Okay, then option A is correct. Okay, next question. Right, consider the following statements related to the uses of computer program in the structural analysis. Okay, here to analyze a truss with rigid joints, most of students will get confused here. Sir, in pin jointed frame, all joints are pin joints now. Then how it is rigid joint? Students, practically this is a universal assumption. All joints are pin joints, but practically joints are rigid joints in case of pin jointed frame. Okay, but to simplify the analysis, we will assume all joints are pin joints, but practically members are connected to gusset plate by using more than single bolt or welding, but we are assuming members are connected to gusset plate by using only single bolt or single rivet. This is the universal assumption. Okay, so here to analyze the truss with rigid joints would be a lengthy computation by the classical method of analysis. What are the classical methods? We have classical method, and classical method is nothing but analytical method, like method of joint, method of section. So to analyze the trusses, we'll use method of joint or method of section. Okay, so this is, it will take more time. Yes. Then second, the rigid joints in truss analysis are assumed to be pin joints. Yes, just now I told. Okay, to simplify the analysis part, we'd assume all joints are pin joints. Okay, so 2 is correct. The computer programs enable to consider the real situation, rigid joints. Yet practically it is rigid joints only, and also give the accurate results in quick time. Yes, then C also correct. Then 1, 2, 3 are correct. Then option D is correct. Next question. Right. So this is the last question. Statement 1, statement 2. The use of slope deflection method is limited to structure which are not highly indeterminate. Yes, if the number of unknowns are more, okay, equations required will be more. If the equations are more, then calculation part is more. Okay, so here statement 1 is correct. Then statement 2, the slope deflection equations can be obtained by using principle of superposition by considering separately the moments developed at each support due to each of the displacement and then the loads. Yes, to derive the slope deflection equation, will follow the principle of superposition. Okay, so statement 2 also correct. Then what about explanation? No, explanation is wrong. So statement 1, statement 2 individually true. Okay, right, option B is correct here. So I'll invite next faculty.
Now let's see the questions from the irrigation. So from the irrigation, first question, which one of the following is a gap developed in the canal bank due to erosion of some portion of the bank? So in the canal bank, when there is a gap due to seepace, that is nothing but canal bridge. So from the given options, the correct answer is option E. Now second one, which one of the following stages does the river bed consist of a mixture of boulders, gravels, shingles and alluvial sand? So while the formation of the river, in one of the stages, the bed consists of the sand, boulders, gravels and all this mixture we are going to call it as boulder stage. So here boulder river stage. Option C. Now coming to this question. So in this question it was given as a consumptive use for every month for the crop of rice, which is nothing but paddy.
So the monthly consumptive use values for the paddy are tabulated below. Now the question is, what is the average monthly consumptive use? So for all the months from June to November, so in the number of days for the corresponding the consumptive use is given. In order to find out the average, first of all, we need to see what is the total consumptive use. So for the total consumptive use, simply add upon all the consumptive uses. So now, total consumptive use, just simply add upon. So forget about the decimals first. You see the integer, 29 plus 8, 37 plus 14, 51 plus 22, 73 plus 21, 94 plus 25 and plus 15. If you add, the total is going to be 134. And if you see the decimal portion, if you add upon, the total is going to be around 137. So I am going to take it as approximately 137.69 will be coming. So I am taking as an approximate. So this is the total consumptive use for the crop from June to the November. Now this consumptive use is going to be utilized over a number of days. So let's add upon the total number of days also. So here 30 days, 30 plus 1 to 31, 31 days, 30 plus 31, 61, and again 31 days, 92 plus 30, 122 plus 31, 153 plus 24. So total number of days are 177 days. So the plant is going to be utilized this total consumptive use in 177 days. Now what we will do is, what is the average consumption per day? So total number of days are 177. Yeah. So total number of days are 177. Okay. So from here we can find out the average consumptive use per day is given as 137 by 177. As we don't have calculator, so let's take it as 137 as 140 and 177 as 180. So 140 by 180, 0, 0. So 2 7s and 2 9s, if you calculate 7 by 9, which is going to be 0.77 centimeter. So that is the average consumptive use per day. But what we are asking is average monthly consumptive use. So 1 day 0.77. Then for 1 month, CU for the month, just simply multiply with 30. So if you solve, the value is going to be 23.1 centimeters. So as I have taken the rounded values, the answer which is near to the 23.1, see the options, and from the option B, which is 23.69 centimeters is the correct answer. Now let's see the next question. So the permeable grounds made from timber stakes are wooden piles. This is a classification of grounds, and whatever the ground that are made up of a wooden or a timber, we call it as bully spurs. So from the given options, option A is the correct one. Now a reservoir with uncontrolled and ungated outlets is known as, again this question is based on classification of the reservoirs. For a reservoir, if there is an outlet and if it is not controlled, such type of reservoirs we call it as a retarding basin or retarding reservoir. From the given options, option A is a correct one. Now let's see the question. So the distance between the outer edges of clockwise and anti-clockwise loops of a meander. You know that when a river is forming, so in this stage there is a meandering. So while the meander is going to be happen, there is a clockwise loops and there is a anti-clockwise loops. The question is, what is the distance between the anti-clockwise and the clockwise loops? So this is a clockwise loop and this is anti-clockwise loop. Now whatever the distance between these two, we call it as meandering width or meandering belt. So from the given options, meandering length, so the correct answer is option B, which is going to be the meander belt. So now that's all with the irrigation. Let's see a question from the open channel flow. So there is only one question from the open channel flow. This question: the depth of flow of a channel section at which the specific energy is minimum. So in a given channel, at any section, when the specific energy is going to be minimum, critical flow is going to be exist, and whatever the depth of the flow corresponding to the critical flow is critical depth. So from the given options, the correct answer is option B. That's all with the irrigation and open channel flow.
We'll see the questions on the building material quickly. Which one of the following is caused by the crushing of fibers, timber fibers running transversely during the growth of the tree? Actually, because of the upsets which are coming due to the pressure with the growth is nothing but upset. So answer is directly, answer C is a direct question. Coming to this question, which one of the following statements is not correct? You see this, not correct for aluminium. The problem with aluminium is you can't solder the aluminium. Soldering is not possible, you can weld it, but soldering is not possible. This is a direct answer question. Now coming to this question, next question, which one of the following limes is the quick lime coming out from the kilns? Directly from the kiln we will get the lime lumps, lime nodules. So the answer is a straightforward direct question, answer A. You look at this question, which one of the following is generally recommended for small jobs only? For small works, which one we require in general? There may be chance of confusion with the volume batching. Actually, volume batching can be adopted for bigger constructions also. Olden days, the people were using for big spans, foundations, even for mass concreting and all. So, weigh batching, machine mixing, actually non-tilting mixers are generally used for small works, very small works. So, the appropriate answer is answer D. D is the correct option now. There may be a chance of confusion with option A, but answer D is correct. Now coming to this question, consider the following statements regarding the transit mixer. Transit mixer is generally used for the RMC, the mixer which is mounted on a truck. You might have seen it. So three statements are given. I will directly go to the second statement and see this because this is a deciding statement. These mixers are in addition to the outer spirals have four inner spirals. Actually, in case of transit mixers, there are two inner spirals. So the second statement is false. Directly, if you identify this statement, you can pick up the answer without 2. 2 is there here, 2 is there here, 2 is there here, you eliminate. So the final option is option C. Directly you can pick it up. Coming to this IS 456 2000 version, the acceptance criteria plus or minus 15%. This is well known question, a very common straightforward question. Coming to the next question, which one of the following is not? In naughty not is very difficult, very crucial in the examination. Be careful about this not. Not required for concrete mix design. In case of concrete mix design, initial setting time, final setting time of the cement we don't consider. Especially in mix design process, we don't consider this. If you know this point, directly you can pick it up and go to the next. So again, this naughty not is coming up here. Which one of the following statement is not correct in respect of wet process of manufacturing of cement? Actually, wet process is the old method, and presently the dry mixing process is going on. And actually, the wet mixing process is not correct answer. It is a high cost of excavation and grinding the raw material. Actually, the low cost of grinding will occur in case of wet mixing process. That's why the particle size is not that finer. In dry mixing process, you require slightly higher cost, thereby you are getting very finer particles. So direct answer is option D here. Now coming to this question number 5 question here, the compaction factor test is used for workability, a well known straightforward 10 seconds question. Which one of the following is obtained by burning conker or clayey limestone? Especially in case of clayey limestone, if you burn it, we get hydraulic lime. All other three are pure limestone. If you burn the pure limestone, the other things will come into the picture. If you have clayey limestone, you will get hydraulic lime. This is also straightforward question. Coming to this another question on the lime, slaked fat lime is used for the preparation of plastering, whitewashing and all. It is a pure white color lime. So from lime, many questions have come this year, 3 questions have come this year. So that's it from building material.
Okay. Let us see here questions from RCC and PSC. Here given data, based on this data given 5 questions. Let us read the data here. Read the following information and answer the 5 items that follows. A singly reinforced concrete beam with an effective span of 4 meters, here given effective span of 4 meters, has a rectangular cross section with a width of 300 mm and overall depth 550 mm. The beam is reinforced with a steel of Fe 415 grade of area 250 mm square at an effective depth of 500 mm. The self weight with the dead load of the beam is 4 kN per meter. Consider M15 grade concrete and corresponding sigma CBC will be 5 megapascal, whereas corresponding to Fe 415 grade steel, the permissible tensile stress sigma ST given, my dear, 230 megapascal. It is the data given for the 5 questions. Let us see the first question. What is the bending moment due to dead load? Here observe, my dear, the dead load given 4 kilonewton per meter. Yes. So what will be the moment due to dead load? Moment due to dead load, MD equals to WD into L square upon 8, where WD given 4, span given 4 square, this is 4 meters, so 4 square upon 8. If you simplify, you are going to get 4 into 16 here, 8 ones are 8 twos are, 4 into 2, 8 kilonewton meter. But if you observe the options, it is given in 80 kilonewton meter, 800 Newton meter, C 32 kilonewton meter, D 3200 Newton meter. Actually it is 8000 Newton meter. By mistake they have typed it is 800, but actual answer is 8000. Option A is correct for the 25th question. Let us move to the next question. What is the modular ratio? My dear, in working stress method, the modular ratio can be M equals to 280 upon 3 times sigma CBC. Here 280 upon 3 times sigma CBC given 5 megapascal in the question. If you simplify, you may get the value 56 upon 3. Option C is correct. Let us move to the next question. What is the depth of critical neutral axis? My dear, critical depth of neutral axis XC equal to M times sigma CBC upon M times sigma CBC plus sigma ST into D. Right. where modular ratio we are getting in the previous question 56/3, where sigma CBC given in the question 5 megapascal, and modular ratio will be 56/3 into sigma CBC 5 megapascal, sigma ST value given in the question 230 megapascal into D given 500. My dear, if you simplify, you will get it is nearly 50. What is the depth of neutral axis? It is 144.33 mm. You will get it. If you simplify, you will get option D. Let us move to the next question. What is the moment of resistance of the section if the actual depth of neutral axis is, my dear, actual depth of neutral axis given 100 mm. In previous question, we have calculated critical depth of neutral axis. In order to find the moment of resistance, my dear, you need to compare actual depth of neutral axis with the critical depth of neutral axis. Okay, here XA given 100 mm, XC we are getting, my dear, more than that 144.33 mm we are getting. If you compare XA and XC, you are going to get it is under reinforced section. For under reinforced section, steel is going to fail first. So you need to find the moment of resistance with respect to tensile force, where tensile force can be written as sigma ST into AST, where Z be the lever arm, it can be written as D minus XA/3. My dear, sigma ST value given in the question, it is a 230 megapascal, where AST it is a 250 mm square, where D will be the 500 mm. XA value given in the question, it is 100 by 3. My dear, let us simplify this. 230 into 250 into 500 into 3, 1500 minus 100, 1400, 1400/3. My dear, if you simplify this, you are going to get moment capacity. It is 26.83 kilonewton meter. If you simplify, you will get the answer. Option B is correct. Then move to the next question. What is the permissible live load on the beam? My dear, load carrying capacity of the beam can be estimated simply by equating maximum bending moment to moment of resistance. Already we have calculated bending moment, right? So simply equate maximum bending moment to moment of resistance in order to find the load carrying capacity of the beam. We know that bending moment at mid span will be maximum, it is a WL square upon 8. Moment of resistance we are getting in the previous question, but here it is 26.83. 26.83. Now W equals to, from this, wait, span given 4 meters, 4 square upon 8, 26.83. Here it is 16, 8 ones are, 8 twos are. You are going to get 13 point something, 13.4. We want live load. It is a total load. Dead load plus live load equals to 13.4. I want only live load. My dear, simply you have to deduct the dead load. Dead load will be given in the question 4 kilonewton per meter. You are going to get 9.4. Yeah, option B is correct. Coming to the next question. My dear, it is a theoretical question given. A section is said to be under reinforced. Under reinforced when option A given, the depth of actual neutral axis is greater than the depth of critical. Option B given, the depth of actual neutral axis is less than the depth of critical neutral axis. Option C given, the depth of actual neutral axis is equal to the depth of critical neutral axis. Option D given, it is not related to the depth of neutral axis. My dear, XA, XC, where XA be the actual depth of neutral axis, where XC be the critical depth of neutral axis. If XA is less than XC, then we can say it is under reinforced section. Okay, my dear, the depth of actual neutral axis is less than the critical depth of neutral axis. Option B is correct. Move to the next question. Here, yes, by mistake, once again it is repeated. Don't worry. Now see this question. There are 3 statements given here. First statement is when the longer span to shorter span ratio is greater than or equal to 2, it is a two-way slab. No, this is wrong. Longer span to shorter span ratio is greater than 2, then it is one-way slab. But they have given it is two-way slab. My dear, now search the options. One is there, option A wrong. One is there, option D wrong. Then move to the next statement. In one-way slab, the load transfer is chiefly by bending in the shorter span direction. Obviously, my dear, if you consider the slab in 2D, in shorter span direction, you can expect a primary bending, right? So 2 is correct. Coming to this third one, in two-way slab, the load transferred by bending in both orthogonal directions. Yeah, 2 and 3 correct. 2 and 3 are correct. Option C is correct. Move to the next question. Which one of the following statements is not correct in reinforced concrete design? In the cracked section, concrete below the neutral axis is neglected in calculations. Option B given, when the section is subjected to external loading, resisting moment is developed due to compression in concrete and tension in steel. Option C given, in the cracked section, the steel area below the neutral axis converted into equivalent concrete area. Option D given, the neutral axis depth does not depend on the modular ratio. My dear, let me give you the explanation regarding option D. Here, actual depth of neutral axis can be determined in working stress method as bxa square by 2 into m times ast into d minus xa. Simply you can equate the first moment of area above neutral axis and below neutral axis. You are going to get actual depth of neutral axis, my dear. Here, m is required to find out actual depth of neutral axis, whereas they have given in option D the neutral axis depth does not depend upon the modular ratio. Not correct, not correct. So option D is not correct. Move to the next one. A concrete beam is post tensioned by a cable carrying an initial stress of 1000 Newton per mm square. The slip at the jockeying end was observed to be 5 mm. The modulus of elasticity of steel is 210 kilonewton per mm square. What is the percentage loss of stress due to anchorage slip if the length of the beam is 30 meters? In fact, in this question, simple change will be there. Whatever the question we have discussed in material, same question appeared here. In the material they have given 3 mm, but here they have given 5 mm. That is the only difference. See, my dear, how to solve this question. First of all, we have to find out the loss of stress due to anchorage slip. My dear, it is determined by using this formula. They have given 5 mm, span given, my dear, 30 meters. Let us write it is 30 into 10 cube. ES given 210 kilonewton per meter square. Let us write in Newton per mm square. Here 10 cubed gone. Here 10 gone. 3 1s are 3 7s are 5 7s are 35. 35 megapascal. After solving this, you are going to get 35 megapascal. Answer, if you observe, it is given in percentage. We want percentage loss, not simply loss of stress. Percentage loss can be determined like this. Loss of stress upon initial stress into 100. My dear, loss of stress, it is 35. Initial stress, 1000 megapascal. Into 100. My dear, 2 zeros gone. 35 by 10, you are going to get 3.5. Option A is correct. Only one question given, my dear, this time from pre-stressed concrete, that too from losses chapter. It's a direct question only. Move to the next question. The Indian Standard Code used for design of pre-stressed concrete. I'm sorry, one more question. Direct code, IS 1343 2012. Actually, previous code was, my dear, IS 1980. IS 1343 1980, but this time they have given updated version IS 1343 2012. Next question, which one of the following statements is not correct? Is not correct related to the earthquake resistant design. My dear, if you see the options here, A, overall depth of a beam should not be greater than 1/4 of the clear span. Option B, the percentage tensile reinforcement should not exceed, it is 2.5, it is 2.5, 2.5. Option C, the reinforcement resisting positive moment at a joint face must be less than half of the negative moment reinforcement. Option D given, the width to depth ratio should be more than 0.3 to avoid lateral instability. If you are designing a structure against earthquake loads, my dear, you must keep the point in mind. It should be ductile. A is representing ductile in nature, B also representing, C representing. Here it is given must be less than. Actually it is must not, right? That word not is missing. Move to the next question. In the acceptance criteria for concrete in accordance with IS 456-2000, the variation in strength of individual specimen should not be more than, this question from concrete technology, that is from acceptance criteria, it is individual variation in strength should not be more than plus or minus 15%. Each sample consists of 3 specimens. Its strength should be taken average of the 3 specimens and the individual variation should not be more than plus or minus 15%. Right. Option C is correct. Move to the next question. My dear, 146 question number. Statements given, 2 statements. Statement 1, the tensile strength is defined as the highest value of the engineering stress. And statement 2, for ductile materials, I'm sorry, this question from strength of materials. Next question, 149. The theory of reinforced concrete is developed with the assumption that there is perfect bond between steel and concrete. In other words, there is no slip. There is no slip. My dear, there is assumption in working stress method as well as in limit state method. There should be good bond between steel and concrete such that the steel bar should not be slipped from the concrete. Is it clear? Right. Suppose if it is not valid, then Bernoulli's assumption also not valid. Coming to the statement 2, in case of ribbed bars means HYST bars, deformed bars. There is no need to check the bond failure. We have to check, but if it will satisfy the requirement of development length criteria, then no need to provide this bends or hook, but we must go for check. Okay, but they have given in case of ribbed bars, there is no need to check required compulsory. So 1 is true, 2 is false. Coming to the next question. Thank you, my dear.
Dear student, this is Dr. G. Balaraju, Professor of ESE Engineering Academy. I would like to present the solutions regarding construction planning and management. So this time we have straightforward questions. One question from construction equipment, that's a very simple question, dozer. And the remaining questions from CPM and PET. So there are no numericals, no need to use any calculator. So by observation, you can answer the question. So just 1 or 2 questions, of course, maybe you need to go through the options, but the remaining options directly you can answer. So within seconds, you can answer the questions. Anyways, let us have the solutions. The first one from construction equipment. So dozer primarily is, so like it's a pushing type. So pushing unit, dozer contains pushing unit. So by means of pushing only the earth is moved. So the answer is option A. So coming to the next question, the process of breaking a major project into sub-project, subsystems and activities. Actually, when we see WBS, work breakdown structure, so where the project is divided into work packages as well as activities. But here, one of the options, work break system. If it is work breakdown structure, there is a chance of confusion. Now, simply we can remove this. Actually, we don't have any work break system. And coming to the remaining, line of balance. Actually, line of balance is suitable for repetitive work elements. So when we have any repetitive work elements, in such cases we use LOB, line of balance. So I can remove this also. So PET technique is generally suitable for research work or maybe where uncertainty is there. And this is only scheduling tool. After then we are going to use this scheduling tool. But when you see the milestone chart, actually in milestone chart, where the activity we can divide into sub-activities. And milestone is a event type. And we can include the details of activities as well as sub-activities, elements and sub-elements. So everything we can incorporate in milestone chart. So what is the answer here? Option C. So next, which one of the following statement is not correct with respect to stages of construction? Okay, here options if you see, conceptual stages before study and evaluation. So for any project, to start any project, conception is it. And conceptual stages before study and evaluation. After conceptual stage only, study and evaluation is generally taking place. So this is correct. Construction stage is after tendering stage. As we know that the contractual approach, after preparing a detailed project report and after having detailed design estimations, then only we'll go for tendering. Once tendering is completed, then concession is going to start. So this is correct. Concession stage is after tendering stage. So design stage is after tendering stage. Actually, after having detailed design only, we'll go for tendering stage. Because without having design estimate, without having detailed cost estimate, we cannot go for tendering. So this is absolutely wrong. So what is to be answered here actually, which is not correct? So answer could be now option C. And no need to go for the fourth option, study and evaluation stage is before design stage. So this is correct. I can say answer is option C. Next, question number 40. In a construction project, generally 50% of cost, the total project cost if you see, the major portion is dedicated to materials. The construction materials will have maximum, maybe what we can say share. So it is of course up to 50%. So metals will have share of 50%. Then equipment if you see, it's again 15%, 15 to 20%. Labor cost 15 to 20%. In total 100% if you take, the major portion or the who is dominating means metals will dominate. So the answer is material cost, option B. And coming to this question, so there are two statements. The program, or maybe actually this is related to project planning. So in a project planning, what exactly will happen? The program provides a standard by which actual work can be measured. So in project planning, generally we have different stages. So pre-planning, action planning, and even the planning is generally revised planning. So it is only giving outline and what is to be done and what are the stages in a project. Such kind of information only we'll get. So of course in the beginning we may be having some work deliverables. The project deliverables we can identify in the beginning, but we are not sure about exact things. And we cannot get even the standards from the project plan. So the specifications of course specified, we have to meet the specifications. That is different story. So the project plan never be giving any standard. Of course this is generally wrong. In the execution stage only we will be getting project maybe standards and all these things. So this statement 1 is wrong. Coming to second statement, the program provides a pre-conceived plan for the whole job as well as for various stages of the work. So this is correct. So only 2. So option B is the right answer. Suppose if you take 1 and 2, controversial, even clear cut, only one option we have to choose. So obviously the second one is most appropriate. And coming to this particular question, arrange the stages of construction of highway project in a correct sequence. So when you see these work elements, the first activity, cleaning site of work or construction. So when you start any construction, first you have to clean the site. Then after that only we have marking and other activities. So clean the site, this is the first and foremost activity. One is the first. Next, construction of drainage work such as culvert, etc. So when we have any road construction, so before itself we have this drainage system and all these things we have to arrange. After that only earthwork is taking place. So next, second one, then third one, and finally construction of road. So what is the exact sequence? 1, 2, 3, 4 default. It is a very simple question. Next, ROI, return on investment. We know very well in engineering economics, when you are talking about economical appraisal or economical viability, how do we check? So various methods we have, NPV, IRR, and ROI, and payback period. So all these methods are only suitable for economical viability. So coming to the options, economical analysis of a project, directly I will move for this. So without further discussion, we can choose the answer A. ROI is meant for only economical viability. Next question, to measure the performance of project against established target are part of which one of the following management functions? In management, we have different functions, like in project management, initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and finally closure. So the controlling is there, the controlling where we have various performance measures and we have to compare the performance measures. If any deviation occurs, immediately there is a need of corrective measures. So that's a controlling. Controlling is a management function, so which is responsible for controlling the activity. So answer is option D. Next, in bar chart, the length of bar, you know very well, bar chart, each bar is indicating one activity, length of bar is equal to activity duration. So straightforward, time required to complete that particular activity. Which one of the following is the amount of time by which the start of activity may be delayed without delaying the start of following activity? Okay, when you refer floats, there are 4 floats. Of course, here all 4 floats are mentioned. Just let us have one by one. Total float is always related to project completion time. It is a permissible delay in which the activity can be delayed without affecting the project completion time. So coming to free float, it is a permissible delay without affecting the start of succeeding, that is a following activity. Independent float, preceding and succeeding. So straight away I can take option D. What about interference? It is the difference of total float and free float. Next, this question, which of the following is consumed time and resources? So in any project is a set of activities. Activity consumes time and resources. So what is event? Event is a state of commencement or completion. Remember, event does not consume resource. Event is only start or completion. So straight away, event is not correct. Dummy activity, which is not, it is not at all dealing with any resources. 0 duration or 0 resources. So what is the answer here? Activity. Construction quality cannot be directly affected by. So when you see the construction quality, first of all, for any construction project, specifications are given to us. The client will specify, or maybe some standards we have. We can say the standards in the form of specifications. Always you have to meet the specifications. So when you see the first option, a clear set of designs and drawings available, a clear, well laid out and unambiguous set of specifications available, proper usage of materials and tools, equipment and other things. Okay, when you are talking about quality, always you have to talk about right material, right tools, right methods and right things. So definitely proper materials and proper resources required. And clear-cut standards and specifications must be available. And designs and drawings should be very, very clear-cut. But which one is not necessary? Time durations. Because obviously time is changing. This is not a mandatory for quality. Of course, this is not at all linked with quality. Even time slightly increased, no issue. Because because of unavoidable delays, there is a chance of getting some delays. Due to that, quality never be affected. So answer could be, from the options only I'm taking, from the available options, first one, option A, option B, option D must be required, but option C not necessary. So answer is C, because the question is not. Okay, I think with this I have completed. Almost there are 12 questions. I hope you have answered well. I wish you all the best.
Hello friends, my name is surveying faculty, and I am here to discuss about ESE 2022 Prelims Examination Paper 2 Surveying Subject Detailed Solutions. So let us start with the first question. So basically, this time we got 12 questions from the surveying subject, and out of 12 questions, 2 questions are a bit tough and 10 questions are easy to moderate. Okay, let us start with the first question. Question number 85. Which one of the following is used for determining different strata in the Earth's crust? What he is asking, which of the following is used for determining different strata in the Earth crust? Yes, what are the given options here? First one, mine survey. Second one, topographic survey. Third one, archaeological survey. Fourth one, geological survey. Let us try to analyze option one by one. So first, mine survey. Yes, this mine survey deals with mineral wealth. Am I right or not? Yes. So this mine survey deals with mineral wealth, and topographic survey is general topography of ground features, right? General topography. And what is the third option here? Archaeological survey. Yes, relics of antiquity. Correct? Yes. What is the left out one? Yes, that is geological survey. Yes, this geological survey is used to determine different stratas of the earth, right? So the option is D is the correct answer for this question. So this is the direct answer question, very easy question given from the basic concepts itself, right? Chapter 1, right? Look at the next question. 86. Consider the following statements related to set out the curve using two theodolite method. Yes. So if you see here, he is asking about the question two theodolite method. So this question is from curves concept, right? See, what are the options given? Set up a theodolite over T1 and another over T2. Yes, this statement is correct. And what is second one? Set the vernier of each of the instruments to 0. So we will set both the instruments to the 0 and direct the instrument at T1 to ranging rod at point of intersection B and bisect it. Yes, this option is also correct one, right? So he is asking us to identify, consider the following statements related to set out the curves using two theodolite method. So which of the above statements are correct? He is asking us to identify the correct statement. So as 1, 2, 3 are correct, so option D is the correct answer, right? So the correct answer for this question is option D. Okay, next. In setting out the location of piers, the central points of the piers are located by intersection of sites, simultaneous sites being taken from. Yes, this is also direct question. We consider from the ends of a baseline, right? So this is the option A is the correct answer. Okay, next one. Which one of the following tapes is generally used for work of the highest precision? Yes, this question is being asked from second chapter, that is chain surveying, and concept is types of tapes. Yes, what are the options given here? Look at, my dear. Linen tape and metric oven metallic tape, metric steel tape and invar tape. Yes, we can answer very easily. What is that? Invar tape. So what is the speciality of this invar tape? Yes, it has the lowest coefficient of thermal expansion. Am I right? Yes. So this invar tape is used for baseline measurements. So that is the highest accuracy work that we do in chain surveying, right? So the answer for this question turns out to be D, right? Yes, next question. A vertical circle which is at right angles to the meridian is also known as, yes, the vertical circle which is at right angles to the meridian. Yes, what it is, my dear? Please answer. Yes, it is a prime vertical, right? So a vertical circle which is perpendicular to the meridian, we call it as a prime vertical. So however, whatever the options A, an altitude, and B, a co-altitude and an azimuth, these three are angular measurements on a celestial bodies, right? So we can eliminate A, B and D. So then option C is the correct answer. Okay, prime vertical. Next question. Which one of the following is a staff reading taken on a point whose elevation is to be determined? Yes, this question is asked from the concept of leveling, right? Yes, what it is? The staff reading taken on a point whose elevation is to be determined, right? So let us check the options first. A, foresight, backside, intermediate sight, line of sight. Yes, the best approach to solve this question is elimination, right? So next, see here, foresight is there, backside is there, intermediate sight is there, line of sight is there, right? So here the correct appropriate answer is foresight. Why? Because backside is taken on known elevation On the point of known elevation, we take back sight, and the line of sight is not at all related to this site, right? So intermediate site and foresight, we have a confusion between option A and C, but here the appropriate answer is option A. Why? Because this intermediate site is not compulsory in the leveling, right? So the appropriate answer is option A. Okay, next question. Which one of the following is the source of error in curve computations and layout, right? Which one of the following is the source of error in curve computations and layout? Look at the options. Ability to set on the plates of the theodolite, the required subdivision of a minute for the deflection angles. Yes, so here it is given as ability to set on the plates. If you are unable to set, if we have an inability to set, then that will give you source of error. But ability to set is not give you the error, right? Next, use of less than full tape lengths on arc definition curves. Yes, this point will give you error, right? Next, C, carrying out computed elevations to more than 10 mm. It is not more than 10 mm. If it is less than 3 mm, that will give you source of error. But here it has given as more than 10 mm. So this is also not given the source of error. Next, good intersections between tape line and sight line on flat curves. Yes, if it is poor intersections, that will give you source of error, but in this case it is not. So here the appropriate answer is option B. Okay, let us see the next question. Photographic surveying is suitable for? Yes, this is direct answer asked from photogrammetry concept, a small scale mapping of open, hilly or mountainous countries. So answer for this question is option A. Next, what is the difference of longitude between two places C and D? Point C and D from the following longitudes. Yes, if you observe here, longitude of C is given as 46 degrees west and longitude of D is given as 64 degrees west. So if you observe here, both the points are towards the west side of, towards west side of Greenwich meridian, right? Yes, if both the points are towards the west side of Greenwich meridian, we need to take the difference of those points, 64 degrees minus 46 degrees, the answer is 18 degrees, right? So the answer is option A. Okay, next question. If the focal length of lens F, flying height h and height of ground above mean sea level small h are known, then the scale at a height h, yes, sorry, focal length of lens small f and height, flying height is h, and mean sea level, ground elevation from the mean sea level is given as small h. So the scale can be written like this, small f by capital H minus small h. So the option A is the correct answer. Am I right? Yes. Next question. The terrestrial photogrammetry can be divided into how many branches? Yes, this is also direct question. It is divided into two branches. One is plane table photogrammetry and another one is stereo terrestrial photogrammetry, right? Next question. Which one of the following is an aerial photograph taken with the camera axis directed intentionally between the horizontal and the vertical? Yes, if the camera axis is truly vertical, that photograph is called as vertical photograph. If it is intentionally
Okay, the camera axis is directed intentionally between the horizontal and vertical. That type of photograph is called as oblique photograph. And the answer for this question is option B. Okay, so that's it about surveying. All the best, all of you.
So hello students, I am Abhishek Kumar Tiwari. 11 questions were asked from steel structures. The total weightage of 22 marks asked from steel structure. So very important subjects in today's examination. Students, in this session we are going to discuss the detailed solution part of this subject. Got it? So let's start. Question. This is the result oriented question, formula oriented question. What the examiner is asking: if the load is transmitted by poles or rivets through some but not all the cross-sectional elements of the member, the effective area is computed by using net area and the reduction coefficient US. It is asking the relation between the effective area and the net effective area. So it is very well known that the right answer will be the A. So students, in this question, sorry for the disturbance guys. So in this question, the examiner is asking the relationship between the net area and the net effective area. Got it? So we very well know that the relation between the effective area and net effective area is AE is equals to UAN, where U is represented as the reduction factor. So the right answer will be your A. This is the right answer. Moving to the next question. If the net end moments of a compression member are 0, then such member is called. It is a very easy question, guys. In this question, examiner wants to ask the type of member. What he wants to ask you, which type of member is this? So dear students, the end moments of a compression member are 0. So what will be the answer? We very well know that if we are talking about the compression member, then we are talking about the column. But we also know one thing, the bending moment in a truss member is also 0. So what will be the two options here which may be the right answer? The first one is the axially loaded column and the second one is a truss. So guys, here we are discussing with respect to the compression member. So the right answer will be your axially loaded column. It is a very simple question. In axially loaded column, the end moments are 0. Got it? So the right answer will be your B. Moving to the next question. Consider the following factors that affect the behavior of a column under a compression load. Read this statement first. Which of the above statements are being ignored in the Euler's approach? What the examiner is asking here, you have to identify the statements which are ignored by Euler's assumption. So first of all, we have to know that what are the Euler's assumption. Euler assumed that the columns are axially loaded, they are uniform in cross section, they obey Hooke's law, they are homogeneous and isotropic. But in Euler's assumption, we did not study about what the end condition parts and what the straightness, the straight and the bending or buckling behavior of the column. So according to me, the right answer will be 2 and 3. Second and third statements are ignored in Euler's assumption. So the right answer is C, 2 and 3. Second and third assumptions are ignored in Euler's assumption. Got it? Moving to the next question. What is the effective length of a steel prismatic compression member for which the translation and rotation are restricted at both ends? Dear students, 1 month before, I have taken a GATE expected question series. In that series, same question I discussed. And this same question has asked in today's examination. Got it? So that's why our sessions are so much important. Got it? So this is again a codal provision questions, very easy one. The right answer is 0.65 L. If the rotation and translation are restrained at both ends, so the effective length of the column member is 0.65 times of length. Got it? Moving to the next question. By considering the net area as AN, ultimate stress as FU, and the partial safety factor as gamma M1, the IS code formula for preliminary design of a tension member for design strength due to rupture of the critical section. Dear students, again this question asked from IS code. While I teach steel structure, I always mention one thing. Don't forget to understand or learn the concepts or clause of codal provisions 800-2007. So dear students, in this examination we have seen that so many questions were asked from directly IS code. This question is the same example. Got it? So the right answer will be TDN is equals to, for preliminary tension member design, we use this result directly, where alpha is a coefficient. The value of alpha is 0.6, 0.7 and 0.8. 0.6 is up to 2 bolts, 0.7 is up to 3 bolts, and 0.8 is for more than 4 bolts. This is the coefficient values. Got it? So the right answer will be D, alpha AN FU upon gamma M1. This is the formula which we use while designing a tension member. Got it? Moving to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding the classification of beam. Very important question. Okay. We have to select in the option which of the statements are correct. Got it? So we have to choose which statement is correct. That's it. By considering the classification of beam concept. Got it? So, first point, floor beams are often referred to as girders. Okay. Second one, joist is a beam supporting floor construction but not a major beam. Right one. Rafter is a roof beam usually supported by roof truss. Okay. Dear students, if we talk about girder, if I am saying some structure is a girder, then girders are specifically designed for bridges or for moving loads. Got it? In floor beams, we can't say it a girder. Got it? So the first statement is not correct. The first statement is not correct because girders are used in bridges. Got it? Second statement, joist is a beam. Absolutely true. Joist is a beam. It is called as a beam and it does not a major beam. It is absolutely correct. Rafter is a roof beam usually supported by roof trusses. It is also true. So, out of 3 statements, 2 and 3 are correct one. So, the right answer will be C. The right answer will be C. Moving to the next question. Arrange the following steps involved in the design of beam column in a correct sequence. See students, see, whenever you design a structure, first of all, if we talk about RCC, if we talk about steel or any other designing subject, first thing, the very first thing you need to identify is that the factored load. First of all, you need to calculate the factored load, the moment caused by the factored load, then you select any member, then you select any design, then you go further. Got it? So according to me, according to designing concept, first of all, you need to identify or calculate the factored load. Got it, guys? So in this question, we have to arrange the sequence. Got it? In the first statement, determine the factored loads. As I told you, in designing subject, you need to calculate the factored load. Got it? So this one is the first part. This is the very first point. And fortunately, the serial number is also first. So see in the option where 1 is coming 1. So in the C option, you see that 1 is coming 1. So the right answer is C. No need to go on the further options. Directly save your time. Take the answer C because first statement is first. Got it? Moving to the next question. What is the approximate value of the tensile strength governed by yielding of the cross section of a roof truss diagonal 175 6 mm connected to the gusset blade by a 4 mm weld? Okay. So in this question, you need to calculate the yielding strength. Got it? Again, the use of codal provision. We know that TDG is equals to, the strength in yielding is equals to gross area into yield stress upon the partial factor of safety gamma m naught. Put the values, we have the values. Here gross area is 1010, okay, 1010. What will be your Fy? Fy is here 250. Directly put 250 here. What will be the gamma m naught? Sir, it's 1.10. Solve it. When you solve it, you will get 230 kilonewton. So the right answer is A, 230 kilonewton. Moving to the next question. A tension member is made up of a single angle 200 mm into 150 mm into 150 mm with a gross area of 30 centimeter square. 2 rows of bolt 18 mm diameter, take whole diameter 20 mm are used. What is the net area? Again, a very simple and easy question asked in your examination. So we need to calculate the net area here. The net area here. Dear students, the concept of calculating net area is, for angle section is what? Suppose this is your angle section and this dimension is equals to what? 200 and this dimension is equals to what? 150. And what will be the thickness? Thickness will be 15 mm. Got it, students? So you have studied this. If you want to calculate the net area of this angle section, what you will do? Just reduce this common area. So consider this area is equals to A1 and this area is equals to A2. And for net area, AN is equals to what? A1 plus A2. For A1, what you will do? For A1, what you will do? 200 minus 15 by 2. And there are 2 rows of bolts. So you need to minus these 2 rows of bolt area also. Okay. So minus 2 into the bolt dia is 20. Whole multiplied with the thickness. And similarly, you will do for A2 area as well. For A2, what will you will do? For A2, you will do 150 minus 15 by 2 into the thickness part. So that in this manner, you will get A1 and A2. But in this question, no need to waste your time by doing this. So, sir, what we will do? Here in this question, gross area is given. Got it, guys? So directly what we will do? For net area, AN is equals to 30 into 10, that is your mm square, minus, what will be your bolt area? 2 into 20 into 15. After solving this equation, you will get exactly the answer 2400 mm square. So your right answer will be 2400 mm square. But in this manner, you will not get the answer. In this question, you will get only the answer by this manner. Got it, guys? So you have to do in this manner. Got it? So moving to the next question. In a plate girder subjected to a bending moment of 200 kilonewton meter, the width and thickness of flange are 200 mm and thickness of flange are 200 mm. Oh, it is written repeatedly, no issue, and 10 mm respectively. So what is the economical depth of the girder by assuming the movement is resisted by flange? So you need to calculate the depth of the plate girder, and one condition is mentioned here, the movement is resisted by the flange. So this is very simple question based on direct formula. Got it, guys? So what will be your formula is, effective depth is equals to bending moment mz upon your yield stress Fy, thickness of flange into thickness of web. Got it, guys? Width of flange. Extremely sorry, guys. This is width of flange. So put the answers. Put the values 200. Movement is 200 kilonewton meter. So 200 into 1000 into 1000 upon Fy will be your 250. What will be your width of flange? That is 200 mm. Here it is given 200. What will be the thickness of web? That is 10 mm. So simple math it is. So no need to use any calculator. You can calculate easily. After calculating this, I am very much sure that you will get the answer 400 mm. Got it, guys? There is one more step or one more method to solve this. If somebody is using the factor of safety in MZ like 1.10, it is also correct. You can do in this manner also. After this, you will get the answer 440. Got it? So after getting 440, in practically, we will provide the depth of web more. For safety point of view, we will always provide the effective depth of plate girder more. So according, if you are using 1.10 as a factor of safety, then your answer will be 500. Got it? So now it depends upon the UPSC answer key. Got it, students? What they assumed the right answer will be. But according to me, the right answer will be 400. So I have told you the both method. We will get two answers. Got it, guys? Moving to the next question. Which one of the following statement is not correct regarding gross section yielding? So I am not going to waste your time anymore. I am moving directly to the answer. The right answer is C, because a structure becomes more serviceable under the large deformation. No structure, not at all any structure becomes more serviceable any deformation. It is wrong statement. How a structure can more serviceable in the deformation stage? It's absolutely wrong. So the right answer will be C. C is the right answer. Moving to the next question. That's all. That's all, guys. Thanks for listening me. God bless you. Wish you best of luck. Thank you.
Ready? Hi friends. I hope you have written the examination well. Too much tired by this time. Let us see the solutions for engineering hydrology. Today's ESE examination, friends. See the first question. Number of rain gauges question, a very standard question. 6 stations are given, but he has given the average rainfall, has given the standard deviation. So what is the formula we are having for the coefficient of variance? 100 sigma divided by P bar. CV gives coefficient of variance. So you can see the value 100 multiply with coefficient of variance is 35.04 divided by average rainfall is 118.6. If you see this approximately, this is 5 by 6, this is nearly 30. And he has given the percentage variation also, what error is permissible. So optimum number of rain gauge stations is equal to CV by epsilon whole square. What is the coefficient of variance? 30. What is the percentage of error permissible? 10%. 30 by 10 whole square, that is 9. So the optimum number of rain gauge stations will be 9. Correct answer is B, my dear friends. What are the two formulas I used? First one is the coefficient of variance, second one is the optimum number of rain gauge stations. With the 2 steps you will get the answer. You need not take the data of the table, that is unnecessary. Let us go to the next question. Which one of the following is defined as process by living plant during photosynthesis through leaves to enter atmosphere as water vapor? Is a direct definition. Answer is transpiration. Land evaporation plus plant evaporation combinedly called evapotranspiration. Here has asked what is the procedure through which plants will be releasing the water. That is only transpiration. Correct answer. Which of the following are the only 2 factors which will govern the storage capacity? Definitely inflow to the reservoir and outflow from the reservoir. This is the correct answer for this problem. Let us see the 4th question. Water bearing stratum having no confined impermeable overburden lying over it. So it is the ground level, it is the impervious rock, the free surface of the groundwater table is the one. There is no overburden layer. Definitely the answer is, as everyone knows, it is unconfined aquifer. These are the 4 questions given for your ESE Engineering Hydrology. I hope you have answered correctly. Good luck to you. Good luck.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Vishnu Singh, and today I'm going to discuss the ESE 2022 environmental questions. So our first question is, which of the following is the one which rests in a pervious stratum and draws its supply from surrounding materials? Is this side track well? Is this horizontal well, or deep or shallow well? Which one is correct? See, there is like that. This is pervious layer, this is impervious layer, and this is pervious layer, and this is impervious layer. So what is the shallow well? Shallow well is just go to the pervious layer only and take the water from the surrounding. Consider this is the water table. So this is the shallow well which takes the water from the surrounding, from here. And it extends up to the only pervious layer. And if we talk about the deep well, it rests over the impermeable strata and take the water from pervious layer which was below impervious layer. How it will take water? This will dug a hole and it will take water from here like that. So which one will your answer? The answer will be shallow well. The next question is, the various type of water demand which a city may have may be broken into which of the following classes? There are 6 types of water demand. One is domestic water demand. Second one is institutional and commercial water demand. Third one is industrial water demand. Fourth one is demand for public use. Fifth one is fire demand. And sixth one is the water needed to compensate the water that is lost in theft and waste. So all the options are correct. Now we will move to a third question, another question. In a big city having population of 50 lakh, if 6 moderate fires each of 3 hours break out in a day, what is the approximate amount of water required per person per day? Assuming 3 jets streams simultaneously throwing water from a hydrant with a discharge of 1100 liters per minute per stream. What is the question saying? There is a city, big city, which has population of 50 lakh. And simultaneously 6 fire break out. And each fire stand for 3 hours. For distinguish this fire, we need some water. That is called fire demand. And we need some stream. So it is mentioned here, 3 jet streams are working simultaneously. And each stream every minute require water 1100 liters. So how we will do this question? 1100 liters of water required by one stream within 1 minute. Okay. Then how much water is necessary for 3 hours? Then 1100 multiply by 60, that is 1 hour. Multiply by 3, that is 3 hours. That is our fire stand for 3 hours. Used by a stream means one stream. 3 hours for one fire. Okay. Now how many streams are working together? 3 streams are working together. So total amount of water that is necessary for 3 streams is how much? 1100 into 60 into 3 into 3. Used by or required by 3 streams for one fire. Okay, that amount of water is necessary for one fire for 3 streams for 3 hours. How many fires are break out simultaneously? 6 fire. So water necessary for 6 wire. How much water is necessary to distinguish this 6 wire which stand for 3 hours? Water required by 3 streams for 3 hours for 6 fires equal to 1100 multiply by 60 multiply by 3 multiply by 3 and multiply by 6. This amount of liter water is necessary to distinguish the fire, the 6 fire that was broke out. But in question what they have asked amount of water required per person per day. They have asked in per day per person, means per capita demand they have asked. So how we will calculate this? Just divide this by population. How much is the population? 50 lakh. Now get the answer. This will come nearly 0.71 liter per capita per day. So is the option is matching? Let's go. First option is saying less than 1 liter. That's it true. So first option is correct. Let's go to the next question. For a water supply scheme, design of a town or a city, the suitable method of estimating future population by end of the design period. What is saying? But at the end of design period, which of the following option is correct? Then what is the design period? Design period for a scheme is the period for which a particular scheme is designed. Consider for 20 year, 25 year, 30 year. Because the scheme is very costly. Any water scheme components can be very costly, so we have to design for longer period by considering the future growth of the population. Now, we may have used the geometrical increase method, arithmetic increase method, any method to design the scheme. Now the design period is over. Then which method will you use? Either increasing rate method, decreasing rate method, exponential curve method, or incremental decrease method. See, at the design period means after 30 years, the city already reached to the saturation. Means there is no growth in the population. Population may be the growth, but very less as compared to previous one. For example, DP1, DP2, and DP3. These are the population. Initially, DP1 was higher than DP2, then DP2 was higher than DP3. This was the phenomena. Slowly, as time increases, your population rate decreases. Like 10,000, then 7,000, then 3,000. This type, your population is decreasing as the city is reaching to the saturation. So which method will you use? Increasing rate method? No, population is decreasing, not increasing. Decreasing rate method? Yes, this method you will use. Why not exponential curve method? Exponential curve method is representing the rate of exponentially increases, but city already reached to the saturation. Your option second will be correct. Next question is, which of the following is not a factor affecting the losses and waste in water supply scheme? There is a leakage and there is a waste in water supply scheme. To avoid these leakage, we should thoroughly study the factors on which these leakage depends. Once we control these factors, then we can save the water from leakage. For an example, one water-tight joints, water mains and another pipe and the metering system of individual house may lose the water joints. Means there is a leakage in water from the water mains, pipes and the metering system. Once we tight the joints, we can avoid the leakage of water. So in this question, there are 4 options are given, or saying which is not the factor on which leakage is depend. Metering is a factor. If we control the meter, means if we install the meter at individual house, we can avoid the wastage of water. Person only use that amount of water that is necessary. It will not use extra water because the person has to pay. So this is a factor, yes. Unauthorized connection means an authorized connection which taking the municipal corporation to take the water, but unauthorized connection means it's a leakage, means it's a extra wastage of water which is using unauthorized water. So this is also a factor. Pressure in the distribution system. If pressure is high, there is so much leakage. It is considered that if the pressure is increased from 20 meter head of water to 30 meter head of water, then it may be leakage of, or it may be waste of 20 to 30% of water. So this is also a factor. So which one of the following is not a factor? Water demand is not a factor. We need the water. So this is your correct answer. This is your correct answer. C option is correct answer. Another one is a factor and C option is not a factor. Depends on the leakage. Next question. Which of the following is, again same question. Storage capacity of a reservoir can be estimated by using which of the following formulas? What is the storage capacity? Storage capacity is the most important physical characteristic of a dam. Once you have the storage capacity, you can use that water in many purposes, whatever you want. So which method you want to use to calculate the storage capacity? Is the cuboidal, cylindrical, conical or prismoidal? Which method you will use? We can use contour maps. If we have topographical map, we can use contour maps, and the area enclosed between the contour lines we can calculate, and the difference between the contour we can calculate. We have depth, we have area. So by using the prismoidal formula or trapezoidal formula, we can easily calculate the volume or storage capacity. So this one will be your correct answer. Why not A, B and D? Because reservoir capacity may not be the shape of cube. The dam reservoir may not be the shape of conical and may not be the shape of cylindrical. So we use the prismoidal formula which uses the cross-sectional area and the vertical cross-section. And we can easily calculate storage capacity by using prismoidal formula. So answer is C. Next question is, modern commercial turbidity meter which work on the principle of scattering of light at a right angle to the incident light is called. This is a direct statement of nephelometer. This question directly comes from the notes from a book. It's a direct statement. It's a nephelometer. Okay, answer B is correct. Next question is, which one of the following is a disease caused by protozoal infection under waterborne disease? See, option A, infectious hepatitis, infectious jaundice, option C, and option D, poliomyelitis. These are caused by the viral, not by protozoa. So which one is remaining? Only amoebic dysentery. This is your correct answer. This is caused by the protozoa infection. Okay, answer B is correct. Let's go to, which of the following method adopt for purifying the water supplying scheme? This is the very, very, very simple question asked in the environmental engineering. Do we need screening? Yes. Do we need sedimentation with coagulation? Of course. Do we need disinfection? Yes. So all three are used. Which of the following option is correct? D. Very easy question. According to Stokes' law, if the diameter is less than 0.1 mm, then settling velocity of spherical particle is directly proportional to either d square, dq, d or root d. When diameter is less than 0.1 mm, the Stokes formula for settling velocity is g minus 1 rho w G d square upon 18 mu. So your settling velocity is directly proportional to square of diameter of spherical particle. So which option will be correct? The option A is correct. Okay. 143. What is the settling velocity of a discrete particle in a water under condition when Reynolds number is less than 0.5? Take the diameter and specific gravity of particle are 5 into 10 raised to power minus 3 centimeter and 2.65 respectively, and kinetic viscosity at 20 degrees Celsius is 1.01 into 10 raised to power minus 2 per centimeter. What will be the settling velocity? Just use this formula. Previous one. G d square upon 18 mu. Now they have given kinetic viscosity, not dynamic viscosity. So what is the kinetic viscosity? Nu equal to mu by rho. So Vs equal to G minus 1 G d square upon 18 mu. Okay. The answer was asked in centimeter per second. So put the all data in centimeter. You will get the answer in centimeter per second. How? Vs equal to G 2.65 minus 1. Value of G in centimeter square per second is 981 into D. What is the diameter? 5 into 10 raised to power minus 3. 5 into 10 raised to power minus 3 square divided by 18, and kinetic viscosity 1.01 into 10 raised to power minus 2, yes, per second. Your Vs will be, you have to calculate from here, you will get 0.22 centimeter per second. Or you can use one more formula for easy calculation. Vs equal to 418 d square G minus 1 3t plus 70 divided by 100. You can use this formula too for easy calculation. This is also valid for Reynolds number. But this should be in mm and the answer will be mm per second. Be careful here. So 4 into 10 raised to power minus 2, not minus 3. 1 centimeter has 10 mm. Square, sorry, this is 5, not 4. Into G minus 1, 2.65 minus 1, 3 into 20, temperature is given 20 degrees Celsius, plus 70 divided by 100. You will get 0.22 mm centimeter per second. You will get in mm per second, then you have to convert that in centimeter per second. Okay? So again the option A is the correct one. Then we will go to next question, 144. The rate of filtration of pressure filter as compared to rapid gravity filter is about how much time? 10 times, 15 times, 2 to 5 times, or 6 to 8 times. What is the rate of pressure filter? Rate of filtration of pressure filter equal to 6,000 to 15,000 liter per hour per meter square. And rate of filtration of rapid gravity filter is 3,000 to 6,000 liter per hour per meter square. So which one is correct? Is option 1 is correct 10 times. If you multiply 3,000 by 10, it will come 30,000, and the range is 6 to 15,000. If you go for 15 times, this is also incorrect. But if you go for C, 2 to 5 times, multiply 3,000 by 2, you will get 6,000. Multiply by 3,000 by 5, you will get 15,000. So the most appropriate answer is See, 2 to 5 times. So this is the end of so. So good luck for your future. I hope you understand better. Thank you.